Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Okay, so guys, officially we are starting the batch. This is the day one. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me first of all start with how the batch is going to progress. So in total, we are going to spend 50 hours on the course, and the course is obviously Fundamentals of Linux. And we are going to learn Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 9, the latest version. Okay, so RHEL 9 is the operating system we are going to learn, as well as if you guys are interested in taking the certification as well, which is called RHCSA. So this course is going to prepare you for that as well. Okay, preparation obviously the practice will happen towards the end of the course. Okay, so but in the middle also, like we complete 2 3 chapters, we do a big lab. So this is going to be the pattern. Okay, and obviously it's a practical oriented course. It's not theory. Maybe 10% is there, not more than that. Okay, so it's a 50-hour duration course, 1 hours daily. Okay, and all the daily recorded videos will be uploaded on the student portal. Okay, so the videos can be you can view the videos again, obviously. Secondly, whatever I share during the class, maybe the PPT or the notes, whatever I'm doing during the class, all these class materials will be shared on Google Drive. Okay, so maybe today or tomorrow, I'll make sure the Google Drive link is there on the student portal. And when you get the Drive link, you simply open it, because I will be uploading some books in advance, some material in advance. Okay, so just try to download everything. All right. Okay, so this will be the pattern, and as I said, it's more of a practical oriented learning. So we'll be maybe we'll be deploying the virtual machine as a first step. Okay, so right now, in fact, I thought of telling you like how you can deploy your own virtual machine and start the practice. Okay, so but before we get into the actual course, I would like to get more information on you. Like, if possible, can you just share the details about you? Like, for example, uh, if you're a fresher, just mention fresher. If experienced, then number of years of experience. Second, why Linux? Why do you want to learn Linux? Okay, so I'll I'll just keep an eye on the chat box. So till then, let me open the PPT. All right. So if you guys don't know, my name is Amit, and I have 13 plus years of industry experience. In fact, I'm also working. I'm a working professional. I'll be sharing my experiences. In fact, this slide, this PPT is designed keeping the course curriculum plus my experiences in mind. So wherever I I found some relevant, example, I have included in the slide. Relevant in the sense what I am actually doing in the organization, what I used to do as a system admin. Right now, I'm a architect in automation. Okay, so whatever I experienced during this profile as a system admin, I've tried to incorporate all these things in the slide. And time to time, I'll be explaining you what to do, what not to do. If you're working presently, if you're working somewhere, or in the future, maybe when you apply for the jobs and all. All right. Okay. So let's. No one has sent any message yet. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's start with how to start practice or how to prepare your system for this course. So we are going to use a software called VMware Player. Okay, so let me in fact write it down over here. VMware Player, and the RHEL 9, Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 9 operating system installer DVD file that is called the ISO. So we need just these two things, and you can download VMware Player from Google Internet. Just find the link, download VMware Player. This is the keyword. Search it on Google. In fact, I'll be sharing the links also. All right, just a moment. VMware Player is a software which will allow you to create virtual machines on top of your Windows operating system. Okay, let me share the link. This is okay. Oh, this is not the one. Sorry. Okay. Let me use this one. So the latest one is 16.225, 16.25. Okay. All right. So this is the one for Windows operating system. I'm going to paste this link in the chat. All right. So just download this VMware Player. It's a software which will allow you to create virtual machines on top of Windows operating system. Not only Linux, you can create virtual machines of any operating system, even Windows also. Okay. So this is step number one. Step number two is we need to download Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 9 ISO file. Okay. So the ISO file you can download, you can in fact Google it, you will be able to download. But the important step here is to register on Red Hat as a developer. Okay. So I'll be sharing a link again. Okay. Hold on. This is not the correct link. Hold on. Let me delete it. So okay. Yeah, here it is. All right. So this is the link. If you open it, it's a kind of a blog page from Red Hat, and it is just explaining you how you can get, a developer license and how you can download RHEL. All right. So before I get into the download section, let me just tell you one important thing about RHEL. So last time we discussed about Linux as an operating system. Yes, Linux is an open source operating system, uh, which is actually downloaded as a source code of the Linux operating system is downloaded by various groups and various organizations, and then they fine tune it, add new enhancement functionalities, and then they release it by a different name. For example, CentOS, Ubuntu, Kali Linux, similarly, Red Hat Linux, RHEL. Okay, so Red Hat Enterprise Linux version 9. This is the one on which we are going to practice, and many more. What is the core difference here? All these are Linux based, perfect. The difference is the support and the updates. CentOS is free to use. You can use it for free. Also, you can get updates for free, like we get Windows update, right? Similarly, you can get CentOS updates for free. You don't have to pay for anything. Only thing missing here is there is no support. No support means if in case you get stuck using CentOS operating system, you can't reach out to centos.com and then contact them and then ask for help. It's not possible. You have to rely on online forums. You can just Google your problem. Maybe there is someone else who faced it. And if you're lucky, you will get the solution also. Okay. So it will be a more of hit and trial, right? But on the other hand, on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, you can use the operating system without paying anything. That's fine. But what is missing then? There is no update and no support. So if you are using it for free, there is no update and no support. But if you purchase this or you have a valid subscription for Red Hat Enterprise Linux, you can get the timely updates and you will get the support. So you can use it You will get the updates and you will get the support. So only requirement is you need to have a valid subscription or a license. Okay. So it's a subscription based operating system. Without subscription, you miss out on updates and support. Okay. Someone was asking, what is the difference between VMware Player and VMware Workstation? See, VMware Player is a free version with limited functionality. You can use it for personal use, obviously. But VMware Workstation Pro is more or less a commercial software where if you are working for an organization small scale, you would want to use it to manage multiple virtual machines. Okay, so it has some more functionalities as compared to VMware Player, and it is paid. VMware Workstation Pro is paid. VMware Player is free. Okay, but for now, for us as a fresher, VMware Player is the best. Okay, easy to use and uh, a, a high degree of compatibility with Linux operating system. All right. Okay, so now here the problem is we can download ISO for free. That's fine. But what about the updates and support? How are we going to get it? So as I said, subscription for the organizations and companies, the subscription is obviously paid like 300 US dollars per server. Although there is some calculation behind, but I'm just trying to give you a basic idea, right? So are you going to pay $300? No, you can get subscription for free, which is called developer subscription. Okay, how to get that developer subscription for free? It is for 1 year, 1 year free. What about after this 1 year is over, when the subscription expires? No worries, you can renew. You just have to click renew, it will get renewed. I'll tell you everything step by step. Okay, to get this ISO, you have to first get this developer subscription and then you can download the ISO. Okay. Okay, so I've now get started getting some replies. Okay, so I'll be just reading out and just we'll just communicate after a few minutes. Okay. All right. So in this link which I shared in the chat, uh, here bottom, you see this part. Go get it, and there is a download button. Click on it. Click on the download button. Okay. So here you see two buttons again. Download RHEL at no cost, and more ways to try. Simply click on download RHEL at no cost. When you click on it, it will redirect you to a login page. Now you don't have a Red Hat account yet, obviously. So simply click on register for a Red Hat account and just fill in the details. If you are working somewhere, you can fill in the company name and all. If you are not working, you can just mention NA, not applicable, like that. Okay, so choose a Red Hat login, choose a username, select a password, fill in your details. Job title, again, if you are working, fill in the appropriate one, otherwise skip it. Company name, again, if not applicable, just mention it. Okay, so just register yourself. And when you register, again, go back to this link and click download. All right. And in fact, let me just log in here because I already have an account. All right. So when you log in, you will again see these two buttons. All right. And if you log in, ideally, after 10 seconds, the download should start and you will see this box save as. It's going to be a RHEL 9.2, at least 10 GB or 9 GB ISO file. Okay. So just make sure wherever you save it, there has to be that much space. In my system, D drive 500 GB is free. I'll obviously select D drive, downloads, and hit save. I'm not saving it right now. It's gonna block my bandwidth. Okay, so I've already saved it. It's in my system. So cancel. It is that easy. Okay. Okay. So these are the two essentials that you need before you start building your own virtual machine. Why do we need a virtual machine? To start practice. We need to prepare our laptop so that we can start this Linux journey from day one onwards. Okay. And we start by installing the operating system in a virtual machine. Okay. All right, guys. So let's check on the chats. Few of you have replied on it. All right. So the first one, 7 years of experience in networking. Nice. Interested in learning Linux? Absolutely. Since you are working somewhere, it's great to know about the platform as well. You know the network part, that's fine. But platform in the sense Windows, Linux, the operating system. And you might have experienced by now that Linux operating system is everywhere. Okay. So wherever there is a critical application running, it's running on a Linux operating system, right? Even the networking devices can be managed, right? Maybe the logging is done on the Linux machines, right? Okay. Next one, 4 years of experience as admin support. Perfect. So yes, by learning Linux, you can switch your profile maybe to a DevOps engineer, maybe to automation engineer. I'll be guiding you through this automation as well. If you remember, I told you it's not only Linux that we are learning. I'm going to teach you a little bit about automation so that if you are actually switching the profile, you have something in hand. You can mention automation, Ansible tool, containers in your CV. That will make your CV stronger, right? Okay, next one, 6 years, 6+ years. Okay, perfect. Completed CCNA. Oh, perfect. So now you are officially certified in CCNA. So CCNA with Linux, again, it's a very good combination. My friend with the same combination is in Cisco. Okay, the Cisco, you know what is Cisco, right? So again, it's a good combination. 12 years of experience in networking, perfect. And learning Linux since new network OS are based on Linux. Yeah, perfect. So it will give you an edge. If you know Linux, you will be comfortable with this new operating system. Okay, Daniel, hi. Okay, working for BPO. Again, yes, with Linux, you can easily switch to a profile. And guys, those who are already working with some experience, don't target a profile, a fresher profile. Okay, just try to target a similar level profile. Obviously, the job description is going to say what is the relevant experience in Linux. Don't simply say zero. Okay, because you can justify that yes, I was on and off working on Linux servers as well. I'll show you. I'll tell you how you can justify it. Okay. Okay, fresher. All right. 10 years of experience in networking and more Linux based NOS. Okay, yeah, the same reason. Perfect. Yes, Sanjeev. If you when you learn Linux as a fundamental operating system, yes, you can learn. You can use Kali. You can use Ubuntu. You can use any operating system. Maybe one or two commands might be different, but that doesn't make any big difference. Okay. If you know Linux, you can learn another commands also. Okay. For example, to update the operating system in RHEL, in Red Hat operating system, DNF command is used. But the same DNF is not used on Ubuntu or maybe SUSE Linux. There are different commands for that. Okay. But the ultimate procedure is the same. The objective is the same to update. All right. Okay.
Uh,
One more thing about
I mean,
yes. Hello.
sorry to interrupt. Sorry, I
No,
got
no worries.
disconnected earlier. So you said this, the link you shared
Mhm.
for the Red Hat Linux. So I need to subscribe to that first. I need to create the account, then I will be able to download the Red Hat Linux.
See, you can download without the account also, but the recommendation you first register yourself on Red Hat, and then you download it.
Okay, after registering. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and second thing, I have this VMware Workstation 17 player. So that will work, right? To install it.
Yes, absolutely. If it is pre-installed, then it's fine.
Okay.
If you have VMware Workstation Pro pre-installed, or maybe you're using Hyper-V and you're comfortable with Hyper-V, you can still continue using it. I'm saying for the freshers, those who have no experience or no hands-on with the virtualization, they can start with VMware Player.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. One more thing. This is very important that you should know. Although I'll be explaining you this in the slides also. When I say Red Hat operating system, RHEL. So RHEL is the a prime product of the Red Hat organization, right? Current is version 9. So whenever there is a new update for RHEL, what happens is that update is first tested on some operating systems, Linux based operating systems. Then finally, when the testing is over, then the patch or the update is released on RHEL. Okay. What are these operating systems? The first level of testing is done on Fedora. Okay. And then the next level of testing is on CentOS operating system. And then finally, the update or the patches reach RHEL. Okay, so this is how development works or the update cycle works, patching cycle works. Okay, so Fedora is again, it is from Red Hat. Red Hat manages it. The thing with the Fedora is if you want to try Fedora, you can, but it is unstable. If you download the latest version of Fedora, it may have multiple, maybe hundreds or thousands of bugs. Okay, that makes the operating system unstable. Why bugs? Because as I said, it's the first level of testing platform. It will have bugs, although you will see many new features, but those features are again in testing phase. Once the testing is over, then the same features and same enhancement will be forwarded to CentOS operating system. Then testing continues here, and then finally on RHEL. Okay, CentOS operating system, as I said, free to use, free to download, free upgrades, everything. Same with Fedora. But as a fresher, I won't recommend you guys to use Fedora. You can use CentOS and you can use RHEL. But I want you guys to have the hands-on experience with RHEL, because ultimately, as a system admin, you will be working on mostly on RHEL servers only. Okay. All right. So few more comments. Okay. Dinesh, yes, Dinesh, you can speak in Hindi also. And if in case you're not able to understand what I am saying, you can ask me to repeat in Hindi. Okay. It's not a big deal. Okay. Completed degree in 2012. I'm a fresher. See, as long as you can justify the gap, let's say you apply for an organization right now. So there is a gap, right, from 2012 to 2023, almost 9-10 years. So if you're able to justify this gap, no worries. Plus your knowledge, you should the concepts should be on your tips during the interviews. You should prove yourself, right? You should be able to prove yourself that yes, you know everything about Linux fundamentals at least. Okay, switching to IT from procurement of CCN. Okay, perfect. Yes. Having 8 years of experience, 4.5 years experience as Linux system admin. Perfect, Ganesh. Okay. And after doing Linux, which all domain can we join in networking? Sanjeev is asking this question. All right. See, in fact, let me try to guide you what to do after Linux and what options are there. See, when you talk about Linux as an operating system, we have to keep in mind that we learn something which is being used in the industry, which is there in the enterprise world. So you're going to learn RHEL, right? Perfect. After RHEL, what? What next? Maybe you can go towards the automation. Automation is when you reduce the manual effort via some programming or some tools. So there is a tool called Ansible. It is again from Red Hat. Okay, so Red Hat is not only developing or maintaining operating system Linux. It's also there are 30-40 products in the kitty of Red Hat. Ansible is one of them. Okay, another example, OpenShift. OpenShift is also a Red Hat product. OpenStack, OpenShift, JBoss. Okay, the list is very long. Ansible tool is there, which will help you automate whatever you are doing manually on a Linux machine. You can do with the help of this automation tool. You don't have to run any command. You don't have to log into any server. You just have to instruct or use the Ansible instructions. Ansible is going to take care of the automation. Okay. And then you can, once this Ansible is done, then you can start the cloud. So it will be a package like this. You learn Linux, you learn Ansible, you learn cloud, and then you enter the world of cloud. Obviously, as a DevOps engineer, cloud administrator, there are so many profiles. If you know networking as well, then cloud network engineer. This is again a profile. Security engineer, cloud security, OS security. Okay, so when you learn this combination, so many domains are open then. You can enter security, you can enter uh, DevOps, you can enter as a automation expert, automation engineer. There is one more career path, RHEL. After RHEL, start containers, microservices, and you can start with Red Hat OpenStack, OpenShift, sorry. Okay, so Red Hat OpenShift and maybe cloud, it's optional. Again, it's for DevOps, but here you will be on the application side. Here you are mostly on the automation side or the cloud infra side. So on the second case, you are on the application side, microservices. You will be responsible for either containing a legacy application to container and deploy it onto the machines and maintain it, or just maintain the running containers. If you don't know containers, no worries. We will be discussing this topic when the time comes. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's get back on how to deploy the virtual machine. It's very easy, guys. First of all, you have to install the VMware player. I have already installed it. I'll just simply open it, go to the start button. Click the start button and select search for VMware player and select the icon, this yellow icon. All right. So this is the home page or the home screen of the app. On the left hand side, you will see if any existing virtual machine is there. I have created two. That's why I see these two machines. Otherwise, it will be blank. Just one option, home. That's it. Okay. Now, how to create a machine? On the right hand side, the first option, create a new virtual machine. Click on it. So when you click on it, it will open a kind of a wizard. In Windows, we call these things as wizards, like next, 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 finish, these dialog boxes. Okay. So on this first page of this wizard, you have to select the last option. I will install operating system later. The reason is I'm not selecting the second option, which says just load the ISO. I'm not using it because VMware Player is a smart application. It will detect the operating system and start the installation automatically, which I don't want. I want you guys to see how this installation is done, how the installer behaves, right? So we will install operating system later. This is the option. Click on next. Now here, just tell what are you going to do. So we are going to install Linux. Which version, which name and version? RHEL 9 64-bit. It automatically selects it. Okay, RHEL 9 64-bit. Next. Now it's asking you to give a name. So let me name it like November, NOV, November or November weekday. Okay. And the location, obviously select that drive, C or D, wherever you have at least 20 GB or 30 GB free. In my C, I have 150 GB. So for me, it's okay. I don't mind. Okay. Click next. Specify the hard disk capacity. Now it's a virtual machine. You will be allocating CPU, RAM, disk. So we have to mention the disk size here. 20 GB is more than enough. Keep it as it is. This is the default value is 20 GB. Okay. Keep it as it is. Click on next. All right. So this is the last page. It is just telling you what are you doing? What are you going to create? It says two CPUs, 2 GB RAM, 2048 MB is 2 GB. Okay. So two CPUs, 2 GB RAM, 20 GB hard disk. Perfect. We don't want to change anything. Everything is okay. Click on finish. So by clicking finish, we are actually creating a blank virtual machine without any operating system. We can call it a skeleton. Okay, so skeleton is prepared. Now it's time we load the ISO, power on the virtual machine, and proceed with the installation. Okay, and it's very easy. click on Edit Virtual Machine Settings. We just have to load the ISO. Go to the settings. Okay, this is how it looks like. CD DVD is the option. You have to click or select. Uh, click on the last option, use ISO image file. Browse the ISO image which you have just downloaded. It's in my D drive. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Okay, RHEL 9, 9.2, you will be downloading, right? And that's it. This is the only thing. Plus, optionally, what you can do is you can remove the hardware which is not required. For example, this printer. It's a virtual machine. What are you going to do with the printer? Just simply remove this hardware. Below is the button remove. Remove it. Sound. We don't need any sound in this virtual machine. Remove it. USB controller. Okay, let it be here in the system. It doesn't matter. Network adapter is required because virtual machine has to connect to the network. Then only it can connect to internet. I'll tell you how it works, and remaining is okay. Okay. Click on OK. Now we have added the ISO file. Now it's time to play the virtual machine. Play is just power on. Okay. Click on the virtual machine, play virtual machine button. A new screen will pop up and you will get the display of this virtual machine here very soon. Here is it. Here it is, the display. All right. Now this screen, first of all, I can't increase the font size. So please bear with it. So on this screen, this is called console. Okay. Technically it is called console. On this console, whatever you see is coming from the DVD. And you can read, if possible, the first option here is install RHEL or Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.1. Okay. Second option is test this media and install RHEL 9.1. Test media means what? Test this ISO file. Whether whether you corrupted the ISO while downloading. If yes, then it will tell you. Otherwise, it will proceed with the installation. I know it's fine because I have been using this ISO. Okay. In fact, you can also simply proceed with the first install Red Hat Linux. Okay, select this option. When you select the option, it will become white. Press enter to select. Now what is going to happen? The Linux installer, RHEL installer, is going to load onto the RAM from the DVD, ISO DVD, and then the installer will show you some options like language selection and all. And then you can just simply click next, next, finish. Okay, and the operating system will be installed. Okay, there are some few things to consider, which I'll tell you when it comes on the screen. Okay, till then it is loading. The installer is starting up. This course is divided internally in three parts. One is the beginner, then intermediate, then advanced. In the beginner, there are like 60, 70 slides, and we are going to move in slow pace. Okay, you might feel that we are going very slow, but no. It is meant to be, move in slow manner because for most of us, Linux is new. All right. So we have to understand how things are working internally. Commands you can remember, that's fine, but how the commands are working internally, that is something that you need to encode it into your brain, and which will happen only with practice. So we go slow, we practice a lot, and this is how we proceed. Okay. All right. Next. All right. So this is the installer screen. Here you see the language selection. Obviously, I'll go with English. Click on English. English US. It works for me. Click continue. Okay. One more thing. Let's say you're working for a Japanese client. Japanese client have requested for 2 servers or 3 servers, all of them Linux RHEL 9. So on the previous page, which language are you going to select? English? No, don't select English. You're not going to use this operating system. The end user of the operating system is Japanese. So the operating system has to follow that language. You have to select Japanese language, and the keyboard layout has to be Japanese as well. Okay. You as a system admin, when you log in, you can edit your profile and you can select the English language. But at during the installation, make sure you select the correct language. Okay. In fact, okay, let's say you selected English. It's not a big deal. Later on, you can change that as well. Okay. So again, I just wanted to inform you that based on the client location and the time zone, you have to install it. Okay. So here you see multiple options after selecting the language. The important option here is date and time. Right now, this has automatically detected that I am in India. So it selected Asia, Kolkata as the time zone. But if it's for a Japanese client, you have to mention Japan's capital or whatever the Japan's time zone is. Okay. Okay. So I'm not going to touch it. It's fine for me. Next is installation destination. Okay. So what is installation destination? It means how to install, where to install. Click on it and see what are the options. Okay. It says there is a 20 GB hard disk and installation will happen here, but what partitions to create, how many partitions to create, like that. So since we are new, we don't know about partitions, we are not going to touch it. We will make sure the automatic option is selected. Installer will detect automatically and decide how to install. Okay, let's leave everything on installer right now. So select automatic and click on done. That's it. This is the only thing that you need to check. Next, you need to check is it's optional, but you can check is network and host name. Click on it. You will see that system is already connected to network and it has got some IP address via DHCP. Okay. And here you see host name. It's blank right now. Current host name used is localhost. Let's make it meaningful. Let me say November, NOV. That's it. So NOV will be the machine of this name of this machine. Okay. Host name for this machine. So simply click apply. Done. Done is at the top blue button. Okay. Now the last and the final step, root password. What is root? Root user is the administrator in Linux, in all the Linux servers. Root user name is the administrator. Like in Windows, who is the administrator? Administrator name is administrator itself. Okay. So root is the super user or the administrator in Linux. And during the installation, you have to select or you have to choose a strong password. Okay. For now, I'm going to set a weak password like Red Hat, easy to remember. I'm choosing Red Hat as a password and click on done. You have to click done 2 times. All right. Click on done and then click on begin installation. Now this installation is going to take at least 20 minutes of your time. Okay. Don't worry. I already have some other machines also. Let me start VMware player. Let's assume the installation is finished. Let's try to run the machine. Okay. So let me just try here, play virtual machine. Okay, so when the operating system is installed, you will see the virtual machine like this. It's loading right now. Okay, so this is the login screen you get after installing. You see a user student created, which we will be creating once it is over. So let me log in as student right now. And this is it. I'm logged into the system. You can increase the screen size by clicking this button over here. It says enter full screen mode. Click on it and here you go. Full screen mode. And that's it. So this is the installed. After the installation, you will get this screen, this desktop. with this wallpaper. All right. So before we do anything else, let me tell you what do you see here. Okay, so starting from the middle, the time, date and time. If you click on it, it will open the calendar. On the left, any notifications, if any has popped up, let's say update available or something like that, network disconnected, all these notifications come here, right? On the extreme right, you see a group of icons. You can click the group and a drop down will be visible. And here you will see some settings like volume up and down. Wired connect means the network. My operating system, sorry, my virtual machine thinks that it is connected to the network via this cable, Ethernet cable, right? That's why it says wired connect. You can turn off the network, you can turn on the network. Bluetooth on off. Again, it's non-functional here. Uh, Balance is the profile, the power saver profile, power saver and balance. These are the two profiles. Again, not functional. Settings. Okay. So when you click on settings here, you will get to see all the settings in one place. On the left hand side, you have the option. On the right hand side, you have the values and all. Okay. For example, background. You can change the wallpaper. You can do so many things here. Okay. Let's have just change the wallpaper, right? Similarly, uh, sound settings, power settings, display settings, everything is here. So when you finish installing, you can uh, you can just play with the settings and see what is going to happen or what is happening. All right. And then in the same drop down, you get to see this lock button. Lock is the screen lock. And then power off logout. If you want to log out as student and log in as some other user, you can simply click on this button. You will see the other options: suspend, restart, power off, logout. Power off to shut down the VM, restart to restart the VM, suspend is just like hibernate, like we have hibernate in Windows, and log out, log out. Log out completely as this current user, like student, and then log in back with a different maybe. All right. And on the left, you have activities. Click on activities. A dock will appear from the bottom. See this, click on activities. A dock will appear. And here you see some pinned applications. Firefox is already installed. Files, just like my computer in Windows, we have files here. Software, just like we have Microsoft Store, there is the software. You will not be able to use it because you have not yet registered to Red Hat portal. You have not registered your operating system to Red Hat. We will be registering, not now, maybe after 10-20 slides. Okay. Help to get help about the operating system. Terminal. Now, this is the application which will provide you command line interface, CLI. And on the CLI, we run the commands. Okay. So we are going to learn Linux using this terminal application. We have to run the commands here. Okay. Again, click on activities. These are just 4-5 pinned applications. You have many more. If you click on this button, show applications, you will see some more applications are there, right? Even you can use subscription manager to register. But as I said, we'll do it later, not now. System monitor. Just like task manager in Windows, we have system monitor here. Okay, you can see how the resources are being used, resource utilization, how many programs are running in the background, what percent of CPU are they using, what percent of memory are they using, like that. Okay. So as a first step, you have to install virtual machine. Make sure it is up and running. Just try to play with it. Just just look into all the applications which are there. Try to use it. Okay. I mean, in short, just get familiar with the overall ecosystem. Okay. All right. So this is how it looks. Let me get back to the original installation. Okay. So it's gonna take some time. It is, yeah, it will take at least 10 minutes more. Okay. So any doubts till now? Any questions?
Yeah.
right?
Hi, Amit.
Yes, please. Yeah, hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, is this class for administrator level also you can study, no?
This course is for the administrator level. The fundamentals are being covered in this course. Okay, fundamentals in
Okay.
the sense, uh, how to manage the hard disk, how to manage the operating system, stuff like that. We are not going deep into administration. In short, we are also going to cover the course of RHCSS certification. Okay, so
Okay.
RHCSS certification, whatever it is necessary, we are going to cover, and you will be able to clear it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Amit. Swarup here.
Yeah. Hi, Surup.
Yeah. Yeah. So during installation, once we select the hard disk drive, which is 20 GB capacity, and then we proceed further. So
Mhm.
usually in Windows, I think it will ask for to create the partitions. So
Yeah.
once we create the partitions in the C drive, usually that is the drive where we install the operating system. So likewise, whether in the upcoming classes, whether we are going to learn about even that partitions as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
partitions is, I think, topic number 3,
Okay.
and we will learn how to partition the hard disk, what are the rules to follow, and like in Windows, there is C drive, D drive, right? In
Right.
Linux, there are no drives. We just create a partition and then we make the partition available in some folder so that we can access the partition. Okay, it
Okay.
sounds strange, also looks strange because our brain are tuned with the Windows ecosystem, but again, this is how it works. And I mean, if you want to be a system admin, you have to learn this concept. This is called mounting.
Got it. Got
Okay,
it. Okay.
so yeah, so partitioning, mounting, they all go together.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sorry, this CentOS is rated is same place, huh?
Red Hat and
CentOS.
CentOS, fundamentally they are the same.
Okay.
Commands are the same. Everything is the same. In fact, Fedora, CentOS, Red Hat, all three operating systems are the same. Fedora
In my
might look a bit different because latest graphical environment is installed over there. But as I said, fundamentally they are the same.
okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay. There is, as I said, there is only one difference. Red Hat Linux is subscription based. You can get updates, timely updates, only if you have a valid subscription. On
Okay,
CentOS, it is free. Updates are free, but there
okay,
is
sir.
no support. Okay.
In my system is CentOS is update, sir. Is installed, sir.
Oh, perfect. Then see, if CentOS was already there, you can start using it. Not a big deal. Okay.
Okay,
When
sir.
we talk about subscription, you can switch to Red Hat to practice.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Commands are exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay. So installation is completed. It says to reboot the system. Okay. Click on reboot. Let's see what happens. Okay. It's taking some time. Very strange. Okay. So there is a chat. I don't have a laptop. Can I try installing in a tab? Okay, so you can do it, but for that, I think you need a custom ROM and so much of things you need to do, like unlock the bootloader. Okay, let me show you one more thing. I'm not sure if you guys know this or not. Networking is also going to provide you a lab, online lab. Okay, you can check your emails. You will get credentials to the lab, and the lab URL looks like this: racks.nwkings.com. Okay, so when you get the credentials, just try to log in here. Let me log in and show you how it looks like. Okay, so when you log in, the view will be something like this. Yeah, this will be the view when you log in. Okay, here on the left hand side, some labs are created, topologies to be specific, and you have to select which one. Yeah, this one. You have to select Red Hat CentOS lab. So we are using CentOS in the online lab. Click on it, and this is the lab. You see the topology. Scroll a bit down, you will see open. You have to open this lab. Okay, click on open. In fact, with your tab, you can just do the same, and you can then work on this virtual machine. These are some virtual machines created. There are two Linux virtual machines on each side, left and right, powered off right now. You want to power them on, simply left click, select the option start. The machine will be started. When the machine starts, the icon turns back into color. Before it was what? Monochrome. Okay. Now when the machine is started, now you need to take the console, the graphical view. Click the machine again, left click, and on a new tab, automatically you will be redirected to the graphical view of the machine. Okay, so this is the graphical view. Now it's booting up. It's going to take 10-20 seconds of time, and then you can start working on it. Okay, you just need a browser, and that's it. So here it is, the login screen, CentOS operating system. Click on the user. Password is test123, T capital. In fact, in the lab, it's mentioned username is user, password is test123. Okay, let's wait. And here it is. This is the CentOS. Again, you will see the same options. Only difference is the version of this graphical view is, I think, 30 or within 20 range. The recent one is 34. Okay, so you get to see the bar on the left, the same options, the same applications, and the same terminal. This is the same terminal. You can run the commands here. Okay, df-h, ls-l. We are going to learn many commands. Okay. All right, just try it out. NW Kings is going to share this email with you with the credentials. Okay. Okay, going back to the machine. When the machine powers on, immediately you will get this screen, setup screen. What is this setup? Let's click on setup. Okay, so it's asking you to give the permission for location services. I don't want to share my location. Next. Want to connect online accounts? Don't connect it. Okay, don't connect any account. Just skip. About you. Now, root user is the admin. You're not supposed to log in as admin. You need to log in as a non-admin, or we call non-root user. So full name here means you need to fill in your actual name. Let's say normally I use this name, student. You can also do the same. Just mention the full name student. Username will be student. Actually, we are going to create a user by the name student in the system. It will have a password as well. Okay. So student is the name. Next, set a password. I'm choosing Red Hat, easy one. Okay, click next, all done. Now start using Red Hat Linux. Click the button, and there you go. You get to see the same home, what do you call it? The desktop with the same wallpaper, right? So this is how you're going to start. If interested, you can again start the tour. It will guide you. What are the new things and etc. etc. Okay. Again, the same stuff, settings and all, everything is exactly the same. Okay. Any doubts?
Yeah. Why is it like, may I know the reason why we shouldn't log in using root?
Yeah, let me tell you. See, root is the system administrator with all the powers. There are no restrictions for the root user. Root user can install anything, can uninstall anything, can create partitions, can also delete data, delete files, delete configurations, modify configurations. So you have to log in as root once you are a administrator, a prepared administrator who knows what are you doing. If you know what are you doing, you can be root. You can log in as root. You can run the commands. That's fine. But if you're a fresher, avoid logging in as a root user. Okay. Log in as a non-root, like I just created student account. Log in as student user. I choose the password Red Hat. Okay. So student Red Hat are the credentials, log in, and then start exploring Linux. Whenever we need to become root, we will become root. I'll tell you, there is a procedure to become root as well. Okay. See, let me again tell you on this point. Okay, let's assume that you got hired by any organization and now today is your first day. You need to log into a machine. The machine is called SEI NT110. Okay, it's a machine name. So now this machine, it's a Linux machine and you log in as yourself. Let's say my name, by my name, Amit name, there is a user created. So I will log in as Amit. Okay. I'm not root. I'm just a normal user here. I'm hired as a Linux admin. So if I'm logged in as Amit, as a normal user, how am I supposed to do the administration? Let's say there is a requirement, create a partition. I won't be able to because non-root users have access to limited commands. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to explain you all this, but this is just an idea. So as a Amit, as a non-root, I have access to limited commands. I cannot perform system administration, so I have to become root. So as Amit, I can become root and then perform the sysadmin work. And this is how we do it. We log in as normal user. If required, we become root, and then we perform system admin work or system admin commands. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this was the today's objective. Just after this class, if you have time, try to install Linux on a virtual machine. If you get any difficulties, any problems, errors, tomorrow we will. I'll try to address them and I'll try to fix them. Maybe we can share screen and troubleshoot. Okay. But again, guys, first step is to have the system ready for learning. Then only you will enjoy the process. All right, guys. So this is it for today.
One question, Amit. Can you suggest the CentOS download URL?
Yeah,
Which-
CentOS download again the same. Go to google.com, type download CentOS, and just download CentOS version 9.
Version 9.
Yeah, my screen is visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. So just click on download CentOS 9. So there will be CentOS Stream 9. This is the name, CentOS Stream 9. You have to download that. CentOS Stream, click on it. 9 is the latest. Make sure you select x86-64, click on it, and the download should start. Again, it's 8 GB, 7 GB, 8 GB file, ISO file. Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
All right.
Sir, everyday class timing is
Yeah.
8 a.m., 8 p.m., either 9 p.m.
Yeah. So every day we are going to meet 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday. Weekends are off.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And yes, Sohan, this is day number 1, first class. All right, guys. So let's meet tomorrow then. Till then,
I just want to
tell me.
ask something. Okay.
Yeah. Please.
As okay, the CentOS was stopped, right? In the sense like the CentOS 8 was the last version they provided. So
CentOS 8 was the last production release.
yeah, so
Production
this
means you could use CentOS till version 8 as a main operating system on the servers. But now CentOS Stream is the one which is available. Again, it contains more bugs. It's not that stable. CentOS 8 was the last stable product. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that. All right, guys. So I guess any more doubts? Any more questions? All right. Okay, guys, let's meet tomorrow then. Till then, bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So I'm clear, audible, right? Hello. Okay, so let's start without wasting any further time. I hope you guys can see my screen. Okay. Chat window is open. Okay, so today's day one lab. So we are going to do a lab today. Okay, so if you have not attended my last class, don't worry. Let me tell you how to install Packet Tracer within just 2 minutes. Okay, so you just go to the website skills for all. Okay, so just register on this website skillsforall.com. Okay, so once you sign up on this website, you can see login. Okay, so if you don't have account, just sign up with your Gmail ID. So I'm trying to do the same. So just hold on. Skills for all. Yes, good evening, everyone. The people who are typing in chat, I'm replying to those. Okay, so I'm just logging with my Gmail ID and it's very simple. Just log in with Google. Okay, so once I log in with Google. Hello, good evening. Okay. Okay, so now you can see once you log in here, so you can search here Packet Tracer. Okay, so you can see the first one, getting started with Cisco Packet Tracer. I click on that. Then I click on this continue course. I think if I go to resources, no. So I go to the resume course. Okay. And in the first first or second page, because this is a small course, you can see, watch some video if you want to know about Packet Tracer. But you can see there is a link here, skillsforall.com, resources lab downloads. Okay. If I give this direct link to you, you will not be able to download because you have to again sign up. Okay. But still, I'm sharing this link. So if you already have account, you guys can just download from this link directly. Okay. Yeah. So now you can see we have Packet Tracer Mac version, Packet Tracer Ubuntu, Packet Tracer Windows. So I'm expecting most of you have Windows version. Okay, so some of you have Mac or Ubuntu, so just use and install the same. Okay, so these are the instructions you can follow if you are not getting some problem. Okay, so right now I think we are ready for other things. You can install, like if you are doing cyber security or something, there are some other basic virtual machines, but right now for this course it is not required. Okay, because we are learning CCNA and CCNP. Okay, so we are ready, and I have already installed the software. So I go to the software, which is Packet Tracer, Cisco Packet Tracer 8.2. Okay, there is no much difference between the previous version and the latest. But why I always say please use the latest software, because if I give any file to you in the old version, that file will not be supported. Suppose if I give you some homework or assignment, okay, in old Packet Tracer, it will not work. Can we do the same lab with provided networking? Yes, yes, Pravat. See, for the first 2, 3, in the last class, we have decided that for the first 2, 3 weeks, okay, at least for this month, we will be going to do practicals on Packet Tracer. Once you are good with basic fundamentals about Packet Tracer, then I will switch to my labs, which are networking labs. Okay, because these are very powerful labs, but right now for beginners, I think Packet Tracer is good option. Okay, so once we complete 2, 3 weeks, okay, so then we will be going with these labs where you will be able to configure the latest more advanced labs basically. Okay, so these labs we will come later on, but I think let's focus on the basic first. Okay, so consider you are learning now how to drive a car. Okay, so consider now being into this field, networking. So why we are doing these labs? Because when you become a network engineer, okay, or if you already working as a network engineer, so you will be able to configure. So first thing we say in the networking, configuration. Okay, so what is configuration? When we do types of commands, okay, when we type some commands, okay, and okay, so very simple. When we type some commands in CLI, that's called configuration. Okay, so what is configuration, guys? So जब हम किसी भी कुछ भी commands type कर रहे हैं, whenever we type any commands in routers, switches, that is called configuration. Clear, everyone? Very simple. I'm covering from very basic. Okay, so another word you will get to know in the networking, that is implementation. So what is implementation? So implementation is like from the command line, from the configure, implementation means the whole project. Okay, means whether it is related to physical connectivity. Okay, like right now, suppose if I give a project to you, suppose I ask you to open my branch office in Hyderabad. So I'm going to say I want to implement my new location in Hyderabad. Are you getting my point? So implement means when we execute the commands and configuration, everything. Yes, Azim, correct. Yeah. So implementation. So there is no such big difference, but some people will say implementation. Some people will say but configuration is just configuration. Implementation is like whole project. Okay. So physical connectivity with configuration is called implementation. Clear, everyone? Yes. Okay. And third thing we have is troubleshooting. So what is troubleshooting? So when the network is already built, okay, or when the network is already there, but if any issue comes, we have to troubleshoot. We have to fix the issues. So that is called troubleshooting. Clear, everyone? Okay. So when you go to any job portal, sorry if I go to again and again job portal, but again, this is not only CCNA, CCNP, this is more than CCNA, CCNP batch. Okay. So I try to share a few things related to the real world. Okay. So when I say network implementation, okay. So now you can see this, the job profile also say network implementation engineer. So what does it mean? Tell me in the chat. So this guy what would be the job description? If you go to the network implementation engineers, so these guys are hiring, HCL is hiring for these guys with 10 experience, 10, 3 to 5. Okay, even if you have 1 or 2 years experience, you can just select from experience. And now you can see some, not too many jobs, but yes, because as a fresher, you will not get implementation job very easily. But if you have 2, 3 year experience, 4 year experience, then you will get implementation project. Because as a fresher, you would get a jobs like NOC engineer, which is like network operation center engineer. You will get network support engineer. Okay, but once you get a good experience, then you can go to network implementation. So implementation means these guys have to configure the product. Network implementation engineer. So these guys have to, like you can see here, again, let me go to the previous filter. Yeah. So if you open this job, so what is the job role here? So you can see here, this guy need to learn about configure, troubleshoot, and manage SD-WAN, because SD-WAN is the latest technology. We all have to learn somehow after CCNA, CCNP. So once you complete your CCNA, CCNP, after CCNA, CCNP, what would be your next step? SD-WAN technology and plus firewalls. Okay, because we always recommend the people the courses what are being demanded in the industry. Okay, don't go for fancy courses like CCI. CCI is not required right now because it will take a lot of money and efforts. So once you complete your CCNA, CCNP, then learn SD-WAN, then learn firewalls. So once you get 30, 40 lakh CTC, then go for CCI. Okay, clear? Okay, so configure and troubleshoot WAN implement. So this is how you will understand. So implementation means when the guy is going to, you can see here what like audit bhi karna hoga hame. We have to do some audits, diagram, update, create process documentation. So these things are also done by implementation. Means we have to know how to configure Cisco devices, Palo Alto device, Fortinet. So these are different devices. But why these are too many? Because this is for the experience 10 to 20 years. But if you go to very less experience, maybe 5 to 6 years or something like that, then it would be more or less jobs, more or less skills required. Okay. So as I told you, like if you go only with a network engineer, so this is a layman, this is a general word like doctor. Okay, doctor koi bhi ho sakta na. Like doctor could be hurt, doctor, any type of dentist bhi doctor keh dete hain, hai na. So doctor could be any doctor. So network engineer is like general word. So people with lot of a small company is also hiring network engineer with network engineer keyword. So don't go with this fancy name network engineer. Sometimes you get a job of network engineer, but they will ask you to update Outlook. Trust me. In small companies, they will give you position of IT administrator, network engineer. Okay, but they will not give you the work. So always go and ask what is the work before you join. Okay, so that would be, so this is a company like network engineer and stand. So it's a good company. I know this, I think long time back I have given interview. So again, you can see deep understanding of routing switching, again SD-WAN. Okay, because SD-WAN is the latest thing in the market. But if I teach you directly SD-WAN, you will not be able to understand, because to learn SD-WAN, we all have to learn about routing switching properly. Okay, so that's why we are learning this course. Because why I'm telling you this again and again, so that you attend the CCNA, CCNP classes regularly. So once you know the routing switching, when you know the CCNA, CCNP, then you will be able to configure these devices are called SD-WAN. You can see here vManager. Okay, so this is the thing we are going to learn in very, very advanced. That's called SD-WAN. Okay, so obviously this we are covering NANP. Okay, so there is a separate batch for SD-WAN technology, but after 5-6 months. Okay, so just stay with us for next 1 year. Okay. So let's start the lab. Now you know at least, okay, why we are doing these labs, because first we have to learn how to make networks. And when we say I want to make networks, that is called what? Implementation. So today is our first day to implement a small project. Are you guys ready for the first project? Okay. We will say lab also, project also. But when we say project, it would be more fancy. It would be more interesting that you are doing some implementation project. Again, I'm saying, guys, some freshers, they learn CCNA, CCNP. Okay, they know, they feel like I will get a job, then I will configure networks. But as a fresher, you will not get chance to configure network devices. If you get a chance, then it is good. But for initial 1 or 3 years, you will not get devices in your hands to configure. Because as an engineer, as a fresher, you will be getting jobs like NOC engineer, monitoring ki zyada kaam rahenge. Okay, monitoring kind of jobs, these small job roles. Because just tell me, if you are a big company owner, suppose you are um, one of the big company director or founder, okay, and you guys are implementing a big project, and these devices what you are buying, like if you go to Cisco ASR router, okay, so these devices, they will cost more than 1 CR approx, more than that also sometimes. Okay, so just imagine if this device has a cost of more than 1 crore. Okay, and it's around 1 million. Not 1 million is too much in dollars. So just calculate. I think 50,000-60,000 dollar approx. Yeah. Okay, so now no company will hire fresher to configure these devices. Are you getting my point, guys? Okay. So because when people learn CCNA, CCNP, on the first, nobody tell them that you will not be getting job directly configuration. And then they search for configuration only because they apply for network engineer role and companies are hiring them for monitoring. And they do not have any monitoring knowledge, right? Because they feel like, sir, I have done OSPF, I have done BGP. But that is good when you have 2-3 years of industry experience. When you have no experience, then just like water, okay, be flow with, like go with the flow. If you're getting a NOC engineer job, go for NOC engineer. If you're getting a network support engineer, go for network support. And if you don't get a job related to network, even if you have to start your career with IT support, you have to start your career with IT support also. Are you getting my point, guys? Why I'm telling you all this, because I'm setting the right expectation from this batch. So if any fresher is here, so do not expect that people will give you the real routers and switches in your hands and say, hey man, we are waiting from you from last many years. You are here, so please configure them. Okay, so they already have good guys. They are hiring you because they want you to be networking, network monitoring and all. Okay, so just start with basics. Okay, don't try to but yes, if you get a good job, if you go to any company like Airtel, AT&T, Sprint, Level 3, Geo, and if you get any configuration, then it would be great also. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा मुश्किल है, but out of 10 jobs, 1 job may give you the configuration, but 9 jobs will give you monitoring and basics work. Okay, so let's start with the configuration. Okay, so now you can see these are the devices router. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, so this is the icon of router. So what we will do here, we will take one router here, 4331. Okay, so this router we are taking, this router shape icon is this model 4331. Okay, so after some classes, I will tell you the difference between 4331, okay, or some models. Okay, but right now we are just using one router. Then we have a switch here. This is called 29606. Okay, this is a very normal switch of Cisco. The advanced switches are also like 3560. You can see here. This is different type of multi-layer switch. Okay, but if you go to the physical, means if you see them in the real world, there is no such difference. You can see here. Can you see that? This is the top, this is the router, and this is the front view. This is the back view if you click here. So you can see this is the front view, Cisco 4300 series. Okay, there is a power cable, power off button. This is like USB port, console port. And this is the back side where you can add extra modules. I will discuss about modules. Okay. So I know you have a lot of questions, curiosity and all. So just hold on. So you can see here, this both switches are same. Then why we are saying this device is a multi-layer? Okay, so this icon represent, this is a layer 2 switch. Okay, this is a layer 2 switch, which cannot do routing. But this is called layer multi-layer switch or layer 3 switch. It has two names. One is multi-layer switch, or you can say that this is layer 3. Okay, because this router works on which layer? Layer 3. Router is also layer 3 device. Okay, so layer switch is layer 2 device, but this multi-layer is a combo of layer 2 switch and router. Are you getting my point? So if you combine them, if you plus them, okay, so I'm not saying the whole, you will get all functionality, but you will get this. You got an idea today? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me remove that, because layer 3 switch we will do later on. As of now, we will go with the normal router and switches. Okay. So what is our first project? The first project that we have two departments. Okay, let's say this department is called student. Okay, and we have another department where we call this as a teacher. Okay, so you can give any example, guys. You can take support, marketing also. You can give any name. Okay, you can give any name like administration, research department. कोई भी नाम दे दो, ठीक है? Okay, student and teacher would be normal. I think we can start here. So this is a layer 3 device, and so I always say sales marketing because every company has sales and marketing. So that would be better also. Okay. So now you can see sales has lot of computers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and marketing also has few laptops. Okay. So how these departments, so let's do some small lab inside this lab. So we will use this cable. Okay, and how I'm taking lot of laptops together, because when you do practical, okay, you will see that I have to take laptop one by one, like one by one, right? But if you press on what we call control button, yaad rakhna, control button. If you press on control button, and in Mac there is a command button, okay? So control button and just click. Now this laptop is in your hands, and you can just click here and add as many laptops. So once you want to just come out from this mode, this is called bulk tool kind of. So just click on that same again. Okay. So if you take one by one, you have to click this icon again and again. But if you just press control button and then click, okay, then you can add multiple devices. And this nobody can teach you. You have to do practice, then only you will understand. Okay. तो आपको ये करके ही पता चलेगा जो मैं अभी ये बता रहा था कि एक साथ डिवाइसेस कैसे लेने हैं. Just use the control button and you can add as many devices. Okay, so I need only four laptops because I have two departments. Okay, so now I'm going to use automatic cable. I can tell you that this cable is also important straight through, but I think cabling chapter would be a different chapter right now. So initial beginning level, as a beginners, use this automatic cable. Okay, so automatic cable. So just click on laptop, add on the switch, click on the laptop, add on the switch, click on the laptop, add on the switch. So this is very, very easy if you understand that you have to just click and connect the cables. Okay. But if you see the real world, that would be little different, right? Because you have to just imagine you have to buy cables, then you have to connect the cables with the laptops, with a lot of things are there in the industry. Okay. But as a normal student, as an what we call as a top view, from the top view, we understand we have to connect laptops with switches, right? So in the real world, what was happening? So you can see this is my server room. Lot of cables. These computer cables are coming in the server room, right? So these laptops are like this. Obviously, you will not place them in the server room, not laptop on laptop also. This is little funny in packet tracer. एक लैपटॉप के ऊपर तीन तीन लैपटॉप रखे हैं. नजीब, right? So this is just try to understand. This will not happen, right? But this is just, again, this is a very good software for freshers, because they can just do some, like, try to do. Okay, so but yes, because when you work on logical view ना, जब भी आप logical पे काम करोगे, whenever you work on logical, your physical view always mess up. तो हमेशा ऐसे उल्टी सीधी तारे दिखेंगी तुम्हें यहाँ पे. ओके, बट ड्यूरिंग द टाइम, आफ्टर 2 3 4 practicals, you will able to configure directly with on physical view also. Okay, but as a beginner I would recommend you to just go with the logical view. Okay, so हमने अपने पहले 3 प्रैक्टिकल लॉजिकल व्यू पे करेंगे. ठीक है. Okay, we will do our first 3 4 practicals on logical view, and then in between I can show you physical view also, don't worry. Okay, but yes, logical view is here. So now what we will do, okay, so tell me one thing. If I give you IP 192.168 of, let's say, 5 1.1, then 1.2 1.3 1.4. So if I assign these 3 4 IPs to all 4 computers, tell me, will they able to communicate with each other? If I give them these IPs, so many people are saying yes. So remember, this is which class? Class C. In class C, we check the first 3 portions. So tell me, the first 3 groups are same or not? Yes, they are same, right? So it means they will talk to each other, right? So now I go to this side. I give here 152 1.0.1, 152 1.0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Okay, so tell me, will they talk? If I give this IP to all 4 computers, will they talk? Yes, because the first 2 groups are also matching. Okay. Even if I give this IP 1.3, 1.4, now tell me. Yes, they will again talk, because in class B, we only check the first 2 groups. Because by default, okay, here we are talking about by default, but in companies we can do subnetting, but you don't know subnetting yet. So as of now, let's go with the simple language. ठीक है, अभी हम simple ही करेंगे. So now, to make it more easy, guys, I'm using class C here again. Okay, so that you understand more easy. So I say 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. Okay, so now you can see again 3 groups are same. Yes, so it means they will also talk with each other, right? So now, how to give them IP address? So when you click on this laptop 8 or something, this is name of laptop. Okay, but in packet tracer, you just click on the laptop name and just you can type here IP. Why? Because so that you understand that this laptop I'm going to give IP laptop 192.1.1. This is good for diagram. Okay, when you, because laptop name could be any, right? ये सिर्फ packet tracer के लिए, okay? So that we able to design a real kind of network, so that we design, because in real world we use some tools to design my topology, that is like Microsoft Visio. Okay, तो ये tool बहुत use होता है, Microsoft Visio. Here we configure network diagrams. Okay, so all companies are using these tools to make their company network designs. You can see this is one of the design. Okay, so you can see we have connectivity like this. So this is a simple tool. If you get any trial version and all, you guys can track that. Okay. But I would recommend you can use this tool also, draw.io. This is a free tool, draw.io. Okay. So please check this .io. Okay. तो ये बहुत अच्छा tool है free के लिए. Okay. So you can use here and say practical ABC something and choose that I want to make the network diagram. You can see already network diagrams are here. Okay, but create like this. Okay, so now you can scroll here and you can search here router. You can see we got the router icon. Yeah, so we need a switch also. You can see this is the switch. Okay, so we need 2 switches and 8 laptops. So the same type of design you can create here also. Control C, Control V. So this is how you are going to configure it for your company and all. But yes, again, freshers, this type of things will come little later to you because but yes, if you join any startup and all, then maybe they will give you chance to build network diagrams also. Okay, so now you can see use this cable. Okay, so now just click here and click here like this. Okay, and you can connect more. Okay, so it's like okay, so kind of the design you guys want to implement. So I don't have too much. I'm not giving too much time here, but yes, this is how you can build some diagrams using these type of cables and all. Okay. Yeah, you can create some 3D designs and all. Okay, so with some practice, you will be able to create good diagrams. Okay. So once you know, so this is how companies make diagrams and they store in their offices, or they just take some small printouts that every network engineer has the design. But Packet Tracer is still giving you the option to design your topology. Okay, then give IP address. So I give you 3 rules. So first, we always design the topology. Remember this rule. Okay, design the topology. Then assign IP address. Okay. Then verify basic connectivity, verify connectivity. Okay. And then fourth, ping. Okay. Verify connectivity is ping only using ping. Okay. So when as a beginner, आपको ये 3 step हमेशा याद रखने हैं. Okay. As a beginner, you all have to remember these 3 steps. Design the topology. First, we make sure we will design my topology very clearly. Okay, so let's give IP here on the laptop 192.168.2.1, because if your design is not ready, then you will not be able to configure the things properly. Okay, so now you see this picture. Okay, now tell me guys, if you see my 2 departments, sales and marketing, you can see all four computers in both switches. Yes or no? Can you see exactly what IP I have given to which laptop? Right? Good. So now it's time to connect router. We use the again automatic cable. Click here and click on the router. Okay, but what I see, FA05, this FA means fast Ethernet, which is called 100 Mbps. This switch has a capacity to forward my data at what speed? 100 Mbps, 100 Mbps. That's why it is called fast Ethernet. That is a short form of fast Ethernet FA. And this is Gig00. This is a short form of Giga Ethernet, which is called 1000 Mbps or 1 GB. You can say 1000 Mbps, or we can say that this is 1 Gbps. So tell me which is faster. Obviously, 1 GB. Yeah. Right. So you can see these all laptops are also fast Ethernet. Yes. Can you see FH0000? And if you do not see these port numbers, अगर आपको port number नहीं दिख रहे, if you can't see the port numbers, you go to preferences in the Cisco packet tracer setting. Go to preferences. Okay, and enable this option, always show port label. You can see fifth option, always show port labels. You can see sometimes it is disable. ये देखो 5 option दिख रहा है. So when I click here, it will show me the port numbers. You can see, right? So enable this option. You go to packet tracer settings, preferences. In the fourth, always show port labels. Make sure this is enabled. And if you want to increase the font size, if your packet tracer is very small, and if you want to configure, you can change the setting from the font option. Only these two settings are required from the preferences. Okay, that's it. So now, if you need this bigger port, you click on this icon, this red cable or somewhere here. Just click on the cable, the red option. You can see the cable is out, and click on the switch again. And now it is asking you, you want to add in fast Ethernet or Giga? I'm just adding in the right port, Giga port, because both side I want Giga port. But if you have a confusion, sir, if I don't add in Giga port, is there any problem? No, you can still do the practical, but in real world, one side your port is 1 GB, the other side is 100 MB. So do you think it is a good way? No, because my bandwidth will choke. Why? Why your bandwidth will choke? Suppose you have 1 GB internet. Okay, suppose you have 1 GB internet in office. Your router internet is 1 GB. Your router link is also 1 GB. So when you forwarding 1 GB speed to the switch, so switch will receive how much MB? 100 MB. Are you getting my point? समझो कि that it is a big pipe. Okay, you are forwarding the data with very high big pipe. Okay, like data is coming like very big 1 GB like this. Okay, but your switch is not able to digest this, and he's just taking this much bandwidth. See, so it is like a big water pipe, then the pipes are getting smaller and smaller, because after that the link is 100 MB. So tell me, will they able to consume the high bandwidth? Will they able to watch movies with 1 GB speed? These laptops? क्या इन लैपटॉप्स को 1 GB स्पीड मिलेगा? Even if you upgrade your switches, okay. So try to understand that way. But right now, consider if I don't have 100, I'm okay with 100 MB in laptop, but still I want at least switch between router and switch, at least I should get high bandwidth, right? Because 1 GB will be distributed in further 4 laptops. Maybe everyone will get max. If everybody is downloading and watching, at least one computer will get 200, 250 Mbps, right? Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the logic. That's the logic. I just okay. So how I'm typing on my screen, this is a notepad file here. You can see note. So when I say Giga Ethernet is 1 GB, so this is just a note. I just taken the note from here, and then just I'm writing it. Because I'm trying to build what, as I mentioned, design the topology. तो मैं अपने design को, I'm trying to improve my design so that I will be able to configure this properly. So now you can see I added switch to switch Giga port. And then again, if I go to router and switch, you can see gigaport this side also. I want to add in gigaport. Okay, so I added gigaport this side also. So if our bandwidth is 100 Mbps, then we can use fast Ethernet, or we have to go with the gigaport. No, Mesh, if you have 100 Mbps internet, okay, still the uplinks, okay, even if your internet is 100 Mbps, but still it is recommended that you should have at least 1 GB port nowadays between router and switches, because all these computer will send data. All four computers will forward the data on this lane. It is like my national highway. Consider, if everyone is sending the data, there will be a traffic jam on this road. Are you getting my point? So it is always better. Gigaport means 1 GB, Amit. What is gigaport? Gigaport means giga. 1 GB port is called gigaport. Fast Ethernet is called 100 MB. There is Ethernet port also 10 MB, but we do not use it Ethernet nowadays. Ethernet is only 10 MB. Okay, now you can see we have designed the topology very, very well. But understand that these two are different networks. Yes, sales and marketing, these are two different groups. Can you see these three octets are matching or not? Tell me now. The sales and marketing first three groups are matching or not? They are not matching. Why, Nias, you are saying yes? Please check the first three groups. I hope you got the point. Giga is 100 Mbps. No, Giga 01 is. Don't worry about these numbers 001, GI0. If you're getting confused, sir, why this is GI01, this is 000, that is basically because router has slots. Router has these slots. Okay, so the first slot is called 0, then 1, then 2. Okay, but whenever any number start with GIG, you have to just focus on GIG, not 01000 right now, because that's called slot, sub slot, and then port number. Okay, so the first 0 is for slot, then for sub slot, then for interface name. Okay, and this is a switch where we do not have too many ports, so this is just basically, you can say that slot and interface, because a device with more powerful configuration has a sub slot also. Okay, so that's why we have 0, 1 slot and interface. So again, this is just not good to know right now, because again, focus on the lab, not on these things. Okay, so I'm just removing this slot slot thing. बाद में करेंगे इसको, ठीक है? That is the only theory topic. So again, just focus on the lab. I'm just removing the clutter from the screen. Okay, so we should have the clear diagram. Okay, so yes, we should have the clear diagram now. We already have, right? So you can see that why we are adding router here. ये router क्यों लगाया हमने? Why we have added router here? Why? because there are two different networks, and these two different networks will talk to each other with the help of router, right? With the help of, yeah, connect two different network. Good. Okay, now, so these computers will not be able to talk to another computers because they are in different network, and whenever we want to go in different network, we need gateway. So it means we will assign IP address. We need one more IP. Okay, so maybe 192.168.1.5. Okay, or let's take a round figure 1.100. So this 1.100, you can give any IP from the group, but it should also match the first three groups. So I'm adding 1.100 IP to the router because that IP will become my gateway IP. तो ये क्या बन जाएगा मेरा? 1.100 will become my gateway. Okay. So the another side also computer has 2.1, 2.3. So it means I have to give one IP here. So I can say 2.100 or 2.200 also. You can give 2.50 also. Any IP, you can say 2.5 also. Okay, just remember first three groups should match, and then you can put any number, like you can put also 220. Okay, 150, 170, 130, whatever. So I'm just adding here. So generally in real world, we give the first IP, okay, like 1.1 or 2.1 to the routers, or we can take always a round figure like 2.100, 1.100 also. Okay. So there is no mandatory that we have to give 1.1 to the router only. No, this is not mandatory. You can give 1.2, 1.3, but normally in world, in the best practices, we give 1.1, or we can give the round figure 1.100, 2.100. So it's not a topic of discussion basically. So you can give any IP. So I have given 1.100, 2.100. So again, I'm using these notepad files from here. I'm not when I type here like this, it does not mean I have configured the device. Because I told you I'm designing the topology only. I'm in the first thing only, design the topology. Okay, so I'm making my topology ready. Once my topology is ready, then only I will know where to go, where to configure. Yes. So this diagram looks good. Yes, some people are doing lab with me. I think Sumit and some guys more. Yeah, if you have time, if you feel like you have the good speed, you can definitely do. But I recommend you to understand, okay? Not rush, because you can practice after the class also. Okay, so now it's time to know about router more. So we have designed the topology. And let's give IP address only to the computers. Very, very easy. Go to the laptop, go to desktop, go to IP configuration, and you can see IPv4 address. Let me repeat again. Go to the laptop, go to this IP configuration, and you can see static IP. Okay. So here I'm giving 192.168.1.1. And when you click on subnet mask, automatically we got 3255 because we have to match first three portion in class C. Because my first three groups are my network part. That's why there is a 3 times 255. Because if you plus 111, remember binary, if you plus every one, you get 255, right? So 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. Okay, so class C is called /24 also, if you heard somewhere. If you have never heard /24, it's okay. Okay, so this is also called /24, but ignore if you don't know right now. So my gateway will be 192.168.1.100. Okay, so I've given the IP, just close this window. That's it. Very simple. Let's do it fast now. Go to desktop, IP configuration, IP, and then the gateway IP 1.100. That's it. Let's go to third computer. 1.3, 192.168.1.100 is my gateway. Let's go to the fourth machine. 1.4, 192.168.1.100. Okay, so gateway is very, very important if you want to talk to another network. So without gateway, you can talk only in the LAN network. Means without gateway, all four computers can talk to each other. But if they want to go outside, then we need a default gateway. So this is my gateway 1.100 and this IP belongs to this router. Okay, so this IP is different because these LAN networks are connected to this GI001. Okay, so if you go to physical window, so you can see on the router, we have two cables. So basically when this cable is called interface, we are giving the IP on these, because when we add the cable on this port, okay, so whenever we are adding the cable on this port, this is called port, but whenever we give IP address to the port, that we call interface. Normally, okay. So because you can say USB port, Giga port, Ethernet port. So as a normal layman, we can say that port. But whenever we talk about networking, we call them in the real world interface. My interface is down. Okay. But we do Indians do not care about port and interfaces. We always say port down. Okay, port is down, port is down, port is down. But in Cisco books, you will see port instead of port. Light नहीं आ रही गौरव कह रहा लाइट नहीं आ रही है या ओके सो देखो हम स्लो पढ़ते हैं पर अच्छा पढ़ते हैं, राइट? सही कह रहा हूं? तेज पढ़ने को भी वी कैन डू इन अ फास्ट मोड ऑल्सो, बट मजा नहीं आएगा फिर. Okay, so 1.100, 2.100, we will give these IPs now. Okay, so these are the IPs we have assigned. Everything is good now. Okay. अभी IP देना है हमें. Okay, let's see. So my design is ready. Now let's assign the IP on my second side. 2.1, go to computer, desktop, IP, 2.1 gateway. This side gateway is 2.100. Make sure you add the right gateway, because if you type a wrong gateway, this computer will not work. Okay. So the gateway of my computer IP and my gateway IP should be in the same network. Okay. My computer's IP and my gateway should be in the same network. Okay, let me configure 2.2, 2.2, 2.100. Let's go. 2.4, 2.100. Okay, so we have given the IP, guys. गेटवे से क्या होता है, ये जो कंप्यूटर है ना भाई मेरे, ये दूसरे नेटवर्क में बात कर पाएंगे. ओके, लाइक so right now we are using this topology. We are giving gateway so that these computers can talk to another network. And in real world, why we need router? So that you can connect with the internet, because internet is also a different network. घर में लगे होते हैं ना छोटे छोटे राउटर. We have small routers in our home that are also there, because my home network is a different network, internet is a different network. Okay. So now it's time to assign IP to the router also. Okay, now router is a little. Okay, so now we have to understand little bit here. Okay, so already mentioned here, like if anyone has very, very old laptop. Okay, so I've added one Google Drive link, guys. you can just go to Google Drive link and there is a packet tracer student version. Okay, if new version is working fine in your laptop, okay, then there no need to install this. But in case if anyone has very old laptop like Baba Adam ke zamane wala, right, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years old model, okay, they can also do the practicals. Okay, but if I give any file to them, maybe then there is a little problem, but at least they can do the practicals, okay, with the 6 point this version. Okay, I'm just checking the Cisco has the mobile packet tracer or not, because earlier it was there in the Android store, but I think they removed. Yeah, no packet tracer in mobile now. बीच में इन्होंने चलाया था बट लोगों ने लैब ही नहीं करी. कंप्यूटर पे तो करते नहीं, फोन में क्या करेंगे. Yeah, Kedar, I have already shared this. Okay, I'm giving you the notes link, and so you will get these notes. Okay, already till 2-3 classes, these notes are already uploaded here, my handwritten notes. So this is your what we call the digital notes here. Okay, so now you can see Cisco model 4200 series. Gopal, I'll take your questions. Don't worry. Let's focus here. अभी दे देंगे यार, नोट्स की टेंशन ना लो. अभी तुम 6 महीने हो मेरे साथ. मैं नोट्स लेके क्या करूंगा अकेले? तुम्हारे लिए ही बना रहा हूं. Okay, so this is a Cisco 4200 series router ISR. ISR means integrated service router. So you can see here power socket, then there is a USB port, then there is console port, which is called management port also. Console port is also called management port. Then these are the giga port where you add cables. Okay, so this is 4221 and this is 4321. This is a different model. Okay, so what do you see here? These are called gigabit ports, and these are some like you can remove this what we call these steel plates kind of modules, empty modules, and you can add these type of extra modules if you need a more port. Okay, so this is one of the example. So how we connect a router for the first time? Okay, so basically you have to buy a cable which is called console cable. Okay, so you can see we need to buy a console cable. We will add that in the console port, and then we add in the USB port something. Okay, so sometime in very old cables do not have like in my computer nowadays do not have this port which is called serial. So there is a serial to USB converter. Sometimes we have to use the converter also. Okay, so but normally that is not required because all latest devices has this mini USB cable. This mini USB is very common cable, right? So you can just have this and use in the mini USB port. You can see here in some models, you will see this mini USB port. You can see small console. So the console has small console, and this cable you can use and you can access the router. But whenever we connect this cable like this, we need a terminal software. Okay, we need a terminal software like Putty, Secure CRT, Teratom. Okay, but as a packet tracer, again, I'm considering you guys are beginner. Okay, so what we do here, how to take the command line interface. CLI means command line interface of the router. So basically you have to use a laptop. Okay, and we have to use a cable. You can see console cable. Can you see the after automatic cable? This is the console. So when you click on the console, you can see I want to add in RS-232 because packet tracer is still telling you that, okay, connect in the RS-232. Just use this and then in the router say console. Okay, add in the console. So remember console opposite side RS-232. Let me do it again. I go to the automatic cable. and you can see I will add in the USB, then USB cable is not there. But if I go to the scroll, there is a USB cable also. So USB में डाल दो, and then you add in the USB console. So we can use the USB cable console also, okay, which is like I have mentioned here, जैसा कि ये वाला cable है. This is called USB console cable, and all the latest devices has this cable. And in old devices, you have this cable, RS-232 cable. There we have to use the console RS-232 and in the router console, because in my router we have two console cables. You can see here, if I click on the router from here, I get a physical appear window here. You can see this is my console and this is my simple console. Okay, this is the front view. The upper side, you see the back side. Okay, but right now all the modules are empty here. Okay, so we have only these four ports in the router. Okay, so now only we need one cable. So I think in 2023, I can say that you guys can use the normal USB console. Okay, so once you get the console cable, USB and all, then you need a software like putty and all. So just in the packet tracer, in the desktop, there is an option called terminal. तो ये जो सॉफ्टवेयर है, जब आप केबल लगा लोगे ना, when you add a cable in the router, then you need a software like putty or something that, okay, which is freely available in the market. Just download and all. And once you download, okay, so just you have to say serial connection. Let me give you the screenshot. So once you add a cable, you just have to open the software by clicking on the serial thing. So click on serial and just click on the open. You will get the router access. Okay, like same way in packet tracer, this is your putty software terminal. And when you say okay, you can see directly I got the router access for the first time. Clear, everyone? Because router has no screen, right? Router do not come with Samsung TV. Okay, it has no display. So your computer is the display of your router and switches. So just you have to use the mini console for the first time, because this is the first time we are doing this. Is the what we call the new device, basically zero configuration, because we do not have anything. I can maximum zoom like this only. You can zoom from your side, Anil, I think. Okay, so this is the cable, and these are the by default setting. When you click on the serial, it will give you some all basic setting. You do not have to change any setting. That's it. Okay, I've already added the screenshot here. Okay. Okay, so let's take a break, guys, for 5 minutes, and then we are going to configure the router now with the very first command. Okay, no GUI in router right now, but yes, in advanced Cisco softwares you can do with GUI, but 90% of the network engineers, they do with CLI, 95% even. Okay. Okay, so let's take a break, guys. I'm going for 5 minutes. Let's take, yeah, till 10:45, I think better. 7 minutes. 7 minutes timer. Okay. So come after 6-7 minutes. Okay, time over. Okay, so let's configure. Yes, Pravat, I'll share the notes. Don't worry. Okay, so let's start the lab, guys. Okay. So as I mentioned, so when you got the router access, I'm audible. Please confirm in the chat. यार माइक के पास आके ही बोल रहा हूँ भाई, इससे ज्यादा क्या बोलूं मैं। ऐसे ही लिए हैं 10 साल से तो बैचेस। Okay, if you want, I can increase the gain. Hello, now it's better. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, so let's configure the router. So now you have two options, like connect a laptop. Okay, connect a laptop, use the cable USB console or console, add in the USB. Okay, add in the USB console and just click on the laptop. Go to the terminal, just press OK. So we got the router access. Or the more easy thing in packet tracer, because packet tracer is good for beginners, right? So no need to connect any laptop or something like that. You just click on a router and just go to CLI. That's it. Are you getting my point? So just you have to click on the router and get the CLI directly from here. Okay. So now this is the first time you guys see Cisco router. If you are a new guy. So always remember, this is the first question that you want to auto set up the router. So always say, no, I do not want to set up auto. So the first question, you always say, no, I don't want auto setup. I will do manual configuration of Cisco router. So click on no. Okay. So now you can see this router with greater than symbol. है ना? ये जो symbol दिख रहा है, this mode, this router, this mode is called user mode. So when you say yes, then it will start asking random question. Okay, what is the router name, IP address? So it is like for the people who do not want to become network engineers, still they want to configure router. Yes is for those people. Okay. So when you get this window, this is called user mode. Okay. So the first window, whenever, so there are three modes: user mode, privilege mode, global mode. So user mode is for limited basic commands, okay, where you do some monitoring stuff and all. Then we have privilege mode, privileged mode, privilege execution. EXE means execution. User execution mode, privilege execution mode, where we get some basic configuration and some provide access to all other router commands. Means it is a still we use basic commands here in the user mode. So some top level commands we access in privilege mode, and in the global configuration, because the name defines configuration. So global configuration will help us to configure the entire router, entire system. So first, how to go to user mode? So these three symbols, okay, let me show you practically. Okay, so when I say enable, so I'm in which mode right now? I'm in user mode right now. So I'm just typing, this is just a comment, okay? User mode mein abhi hum. This mode is called user mode. So when I say enable, then I'm in the router with hash, router with this hash. This is called which mode? Privilege mode. Okay. So whenever a router shows you hash, that's privilege mode. After, if I want to go to global, top mode, configure terminal. Okay, let's do again. If I want to go back, exit. Okay, again, I'm in user mode, enable, and then configure terminal. I'm in the router configuration mode. So which two commands are required to go to the global configuration mode? Enable, and after that, configure terminal. Okay, so there is a short form. If I go back, so you can say enable, and some people type conf t also. This is a short form. Configure terminal short form conf t. You can see that I'm in the configuration mode. Okay, very good, guys. Okay, Sanjeev. Sanjeev is asking me to enable. Okay, increase the font size. Okay, this is the maximum I can do now. Okay, so let's do again. Exit, enable, conf t, and after that, I want to configure this interface GIG000, right? But before I configure anything, let me change the router name. You can say that host name and type your name. Okay, let me type my name, Atul. Okay, so you can configure with any router name like Delhi Gateway 1. Okay, you can say Bangalore Gateway. Okay, because routers are called gateways also sometimes. So in the, you can say this is my Bangalore location, Bangalore branch router. Okay, so some companies have these type of names also, Bangalore branch, RTR router. So this is, so whenever they log in, they will come to know, okay, this is the Bangalore router. Okay. So you can give any name with the host name command, host name, and then give name. Okay. So company name or router name, whatever. So you can give any name, company name, location name. So you can give any name here with the host name command. Yes, recording is going on. Don't worry. केविन फ्रेडरिक्स हिंदी में टाइप कर रहे हो यार, ऐसा लगा किसी अंग्रेज ने हिंदी लिख दी. Okay, so host name ABC, host name XYZ. You can give any name, whatever you like. Okay. Okay. So once you change the host name, it's time to configure device. So already you can see here, I have already created lab here. You can see this, you can do the same lab. And here I have already given the configuration also. Okay. So in previous notes, I think we have added two laptops, one server. Okay. So, but today I'm taking 4 laptops. It is similar like this. Okay. So how to configure? So I go to this GIG000 interface. Okay, so I'm in which mode? Config mode. याद रखना config mode में हूं मैं. I'm in the config mode. Interface. Please close the Zoom recording window button. That is from your side, bro. I don't have that access. My screen is my screen, none of your screen. And your screen is your screen. Interface GIG000. रेस 3 था डायलॉग. So interface GIG 000. Okay. So which IP I want to give? I will write very simple IP address. I want to give 192.168.1.100. Right? So remember in class C, so whenever I give any IP address, how many 255 we have to give here? 3. So this represents my network bits. Okay, so what is subnet mask? So subnet mask represents network bits. Okay, so which means that I will come to know that I'm in the same network or not. Okay, so when I say 192.168.1.100, I'm saying my first 3 groups are my network part. That's why 3255, because my first 3 portion is my network part. That this network should match with all these computers, then they will be in the same network, है ना. तो ये कंप्यूटर के पहले 3 ऑक्टेट, all 3 computers first 3 octets, and my router first 3 octets should be in same network. That's why I'm giving 3 times 255.0. Okay, because 255 represents network part. So I have class C, so that's why I give 3255.0. Enter. And by default, you can see there is a red light on the Cisco router, but there is a green lights on the switches. Even if you go to the physical mode, so you can see there is no green light on the router, but switches has these small green lights. Why? Because router ports are shut down by default. राउटर के पोर्ट बाय डिफॉल्ट बंद होते हैं. राउटर पोर्ट्स आर शट डाउन बाय डिफॉल्ट. दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव टू इनेबल देम by giving a command no shutdown. Shutdown means disable, right? No shutdown. I don't know why Cisco has done that. No shutdown. Make it easy, man. Just say enable. But enable is to enter from user mode to privilege mode, right? So no shutdown command is mandatory because my interface, my port is down by default. Okay, no shutdown, enter. So once I give no shutdown, there is a message also that this interface is changed state to up. You can see a green light also on the router left side. Yes or no? Yeah, orange. So this orange light is called amber light. Okay, so this is basically switch is trying to check is there any loop or not. So switch is an intelligent device. It is checking is there any loop. Okay, is there any loop or not? Now you can see it is becoming green now. Okay, there is a protocol spanning tree that is running. Okay, that we will run in further classes. But right now you can see when I give no shutdown command, automatically the interface come into the green state in packet tracer. Even in the physical window, can you see green light on one interface now? Small little light. Yes. If interface is showing error disable, you can do no shutdown. Okay, so now you can see there is a GI001. Okay, so this 000 is a different port. 001 is a different port. Okay. So now I go to this another port, GIG. So you can type the same or exit because I have to go back to another mode, or it's better to take exit initially. So you can say again, I'm in the config mode. Directly, I can go directly in the interface. Okay, so you can use tab button also. Like you say IN and then press the tab button. Auto completion mode hai. Like in Linux also you have this feature. If you configure, if you type some commands in Linux, auto completion mode. Like when you say INT and use tab button, automatically the command will be written. Interface, then I say GI tab, automatically it is writing gigabit Ethernet. But I will not write the full. I will go with the small short GIG. 001. Now again, I'm the config if mode, which is called interface mode. This, whenever you see if na, ये जब भी आपको if दिखता है, whenever you see this if after config, it means you are in the interface mode. So then you give IP address 192.168.2.100. Okay, so what would be the subnet mask? Whatever subnet mask we are using in the PC, 3 times 255.0. Okay, which means my first 3 groups are my network part. The 3255 means my first 3 portions are my network part. And tell me what I have to do now. One thing is pending. My router port is shut down. So I have to say no shutdown. Yeah. So I have done no shutdown, and after some time this port will become green. Yeah. So what will happen? It's very easy configuration in the notes, guys. I've already added a screenshot. This is how you can add computers. You can use IPs and all. Okay. And I've already added the commands also. Very simple. You can see config terminal interface GI000. Then you give the IP. Then you go to another interface. You give another IP. Okay. So you can do the same lab, or you can try to configure with 2 switches, 3 switches later on. Okay. So now we have added. So now it's time to, again, I told you, design that topology. That is done. Yes. Raise hand. After that, we have given the IP addresses everywhere. Yes. Now it is time to check verify the connectivity. Means now it's time to check the ping, right? So abhi ping check karenge. We will check the ping. So we go to the first computer. Okay, we go to the first computer and ping. I'm in the 192.168.1.1. Okay, so if you ping your gateway, it means you have the reachability to your router. So can I ping my router? Can I ping my gateway? क्या मैं अपने गेट तक पिंग कर पा रहा हूं? Yes, I can ping my gateway. Now it is time to check the ping. Can I ping the another gateway 2.100? Let's test. Can I ping the 2.100? Yes, I can ping from here also. It means my packet is going from computer to switch to router. Okay, because I ping the GI00, and after that I can ping till 2.100. Yes or no? So now further I want to ping, maybe let's ping 2.1 now. This is how my packet will go, and packet will come back and give me a reply. Because whenever you ping, the ping will come back. That's why it is always a reply. It will always show reply. Okay, let me show you. So if I go to the router, go to the computer again, and I type 192.168.2.1 ping 192.168.2.1. Okay, so let's see if it will ping or not. Yes, the first packet got dropped. Okay, we will come to know why this got dropped. But if you ping any further time, there is no drop. And a ping aa gaya. Basically, let's focus on ping. Forget about why there is a drop. We will cover this later on. But we got the replies. Yes or no? Your first practical is done almost. Okay, so now I want you to see that first I ping my gateway, then I ping the another gateway. Okay, then I ping the further last destination. Yes or no? But what if, okay, so what if I type here one more command, trace RT. Trace RT means trace route. I want to see how my computer is forwarding the traffic to another computer, and how my traffic is following which path. Means कौन से रास्ते से traffic जा रही है, which path my computer is taking to go to my destination. Okay, so when I say trace RT, I want to go to 2.1. How my traffic is going? Let's see. 192.168.2.1. So can you see that my first go to my gateway, and after that I ping 2.1. Why it is not showing me 1.100? It is showing me 1.100, but it is not showing 2.100 because 1.100 is also router IP and 2.100 is also router IP. It's like you have two names, whether your friends calls you ABC or maybe your parents call you XYZ, but still you know this is your name, right? So the router has two names now. You can say that one is the left side name, one is the router second name. Okay, that's okay. Because now if you trace route, so it is showing you your gateway, not showing the other gateway, because after 1.100, because this is the router IP right now for this computer. But if I trace route from the opposite side, अगर मैं दूसरी साइड से trace route करूं, if I trace route the 192.168.1.1, now this time you can see, you see your own gateway, because as a first hop you see your own gateway, and after that the device. Okay, right now we have only one router here, but if I go to the real terminal and if I go and type here trace okay, in Linux, in the MacBooks you have trace route command, so you say google.com पे चलते हैं भाई. Okay, trace route google.com. So now you can see this first IP is my router IP, which is behind me, small router, not that small. It's that big. Okay. So after that, you can see there is a IP, which is maybe ISP IP. Then maybe this is the big ISP router IP. This is maybe further IP. So you can see I'm using Airtel something or something like that. But to go from my computer to google.com, this almost 15-16 routers I'm crossing. How many routers are my computer is crossing till google.com? Almost 15-16 routers. You can see 15 ops ना. मुझे 15 राउटर लग रहे हैं गूगल तक जाने के लिए. It is taking around 15 routers to go to not my, google.com. यहाँ एक तो मेरा ही है यार, पर है राउटर तो मेरा ही, मतलब है तो राउटर ही. Okay, so I'm talking in general that how many routers are taking. Okay, so depends on the location my packets are going from source to destination. But right now, understand such a big logic today, what you learned, that even if 15 routers are there, so just imagine how big the internet is, that lot of routers, millions of routers are there in the, like you can say, in between you and google.com. And still, whenever you forward a packet to router, then what router is doing? The question is, dimag lagao, okay, use your brain, do some little brainstorming that how router is forwarding packet which is coming on this cable and forwarding the same packet to this cable. How router is forwarding traffic from this side to this side? How? Because the router has a table that is called, okay, tell me if you want to go from any location to any location, there is a signboards, right? There is a signboards, okay, take right turn. ये पलवल के लिए सीधा चलो, अलीगढ़ के लिए इधर चलो. ये देखो ये आया अभी तो गूगल में मुझे. So what is this basically? Tell me. In India, we have lot of signboards everywhere, in every country. I've seen that. Not every country I have visited, sorry. So in many countries, I've also seen that. So you can see this is actually telling you the location. Okay, if you want to go to this city, okay, just go 53 straight Aligarh, means you can reach to destination for 4 cities on the same highway. Okay, so the same way your router is like a signboard that traffic is coming from this side. You forward the packet to router and router will check, okay, router will check a table which is called, just press here, exit, exit, come to the privilege mode. Remember, first mode is user mode, enable karna hai, enable, you are in the privilege mode. And now you type here one command, show IP route. Router take decisions from this table, show IP route. So when I say show IP route, right now it will look like, what is this ABCDG? Don't worry, you will understand. Okay, so this is here इसमें वो कौन थी? Okay, so when you type show IP route, so these above numbers you can ignore right now, but these are like different routing protocols we are going to use in future. But right now you can ignore that. So we have to focus on the below part. Okay, so we have to focus on the below part, which is after this, like you can see the yellow box. Focus on the yellow box. Okay. So now what is written over here? That 1.0. Okay, so you can see 1.0 is directly connected to GI000 cable. So मेरा जो 1.0, so why it is saying 1.0 and here it is saying 2.0. You can see 1.0 and there is 2.0 also. You can see 2.0 is Gigabit Ethernet 001. Okay, but why it is 1.0, 2.0? Because router cannot remember all computer IPs. Yes. Router इतने IP कैसे याद रखेगा? Just imagine if your company has 5,000 employees, router will not remember all single IPs here because we always store the home address. Okay, so tell me, what is the home address of this network? The first IP of any subnet is called home address or network ID. Okay, so it means my first IP is 1.0, which is my network ID, which will be used by routers to forward the traffic. So my home address, all IP 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.100, all IPs belong to one family. All IPs belong to that family home address 1.0. So whether it is your computer, your brother, your sister, whatever. Okay, so all these family members have a home address. Yes or no? Yeah. So my router will store only the home addresses. So when I say show IP route connected, so it will only show me the directly connected routes. So the C symbol represents your directly connected, means the cable we have attached with these networks. So tell me, with these two networks, you have the direct connection, direct cable, yes or no? क्या आपकी केबल इनके साथ जुड़ी हुई है? इन दो नेटवर्क्स के साथ? So you have that direct connectivity with these two networks. That's why these are saying CC, which means connected. So this 1.0 belongs to G00 and this 2.0 belongs to G001. So now understand, so when you go from computer, say I want to go to 2.1. So जब भी आप बोलते हो that I want to go to 2.1, right? So how you are able to ping? Because the same packet computer give to router and check here, show IP route. Where is 2.1? Router. So you can see router is telling me, if you want to go to 2.1, show IP route. This is very important command, guys, for troubleshooting. Please note it down. Very important command. Very important than show IP route. This is used in troubleshooting. Okay, so now this so what a router is saying, it's saying known via connected. Distance is 0. 0 means remember, whenever you see any connected thing, that the distance is always 0, which is called administrative distance. So the lower number is better. Okay. So we'll do it later on also. So metric is 0, that we will see later on also. But right now you see, I am directly connected with which cable? 001. If I want to go to 2.0, so computer forward the packet to router. Router, I want to go to 2.1, and router check the routing table and say, okay, 2.1 pe jana hai. If you want to go to 2.1, then go to this network, and this network is on which cable? GI001. And then router forward that packet to 001, and this packet will be moved to 001. Can you see that? 001. Yes. Okay, so because router is telling me everything, right? Router is telling me everything, that okay, go from this side, and now now packet will go to destination, right? Packet will go to destination because router knows, and it will reach destination. Okay, but when the packet comes back, now your computer is saying, I want to go, because this computer is going back. So 2.1 say I want to go back to 1.1. So router will again check, okay, where is 1.1? So when packet is going back now, it is checking where is 1.1. Okay, 1.1 is on 000. It means when the packet is coming from the opposite side, okay. So at that time, router will forward traffic to G00. Okay, so what does this, and how do you understand now? More clearly. So whenever you go and forward traffic from one location to another location, the router is the device which is very helpful, and router makes the routing table. The main command is show IP route. So I would recommend you to type show IP route connected, because if you type show IP route, it will display you big lot of things, and also you will confuse why this L is there. So basically, whatever IP you assign on the router, that IP it will display, and it is /32, because IP address is 32-bit. The single IP is called /32. So ignore. That's why I'm telling you. So till the time you guys have what we call, you guys are in basic. So I would suggest you to use show IP route connected. And whenever you want to see how my traffic is going, you can use the IP show IP route after that IP 1.1. This is very important commands. Okay, so these three commands I'm telling you to use: show IP route connected, show IP route, and then just type the IP name. So I'm just adding here. Okay. Okay, so now if you want to see what IP I have given on the router, so there is another command, show IP interface brief. So you can easily see that on this cable I have given this IP, on this cable I have given this IP. Show in IP interface brief. Some commands also do not work on packet tracer, but don't worry. We are not going to miss anything. We will be covering. Show IP interface brief. So you can see these IPs are showing me up. So ये दोनों interface, both the interfaces are in up. Okay. So we have done the good practical, guys, and so remember this thing: design the topology, assign IP address, and then verify the connectivity. Okay, so this lab is very important. Okay, because next classes you will understand when you know this. Okay, so do not even if you miss the class, what we call, if you do not revise tomorrow, still after like you have 4 or 5 days to complete, because tomorrow I think we will do 2 routers lab, which means with the static routing. So show command only run in privilege. No, Sanjeev, you can run in any mode. Okay, but it is better to run in show mode right now. But in case if you are in the configuration terminal, yeah, but still you want to run show IP route here, so you have to use do show IP route. Do lagana padega. You have to add do if you are in a different mode. Okay, like do show IP route connected. Okay, like this. What if I give one of my computer IP address 1.0? Then no, you can't give home address to the computer. The first IP, which is called network ID, and the broadcast IP, which is called the last IP, you cannot assign to any computer. This is called broadcast, which means all computers broadcast. What is broadcast? How? Let me show you. The broadcast means when you ping the broadcast IP, all computers in your network will reply you. This is very good if you want to, because one of the student is asking in that how to check how many devices are there in my home network. Maybe your neighbor is using, right, your Wi-Fi. Your brother has silently given the Wi-Fi password. So ping 192.168.1.255, and now you can see all 4 devices. How many devices? How many devices are there? You can see 1.2, 1.3, 1. Just ping one time 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.100 means 1.3, 1.4, 1.2, and 1.100. It will only show you your own network devices. You can try your home network. So go and check your public, what is your IP. I think most of you have one network. So try to ping 1.255, and you can see in my home network 1.1, 1.3, 1.4, 1.6, 1.9. Like these 6, 7 mobile or matlab कुछ होंगे यार, mobile devices are there. Yes, the Shivam packet flow is there. Okay, it's there in my syllabus. I don't know about others. No, we cannot hack Wi-Fi password if we know the IP address. Earlier we used to hack, but right now it is little tough because Wi-Fi has a lot of high securities nowadays. Ranbir is pinging the IP, but he is not able to ping. So maybe it is blocked sometime. Companies block ping also. They do not want you to ping in your network and all to protect from DOS attacks and all. Okay, so once you ping these devices, so remember, whenever you ping all these machines, okay, my computer is silently making one table, which is called ARP table. Okay, which table? ARP, A-R-P. So can you see my computer is going to store all the computer IP with their MAC addresses? Why my computer is doing that? Because every time computer will directly give instruction to the switch. Okay, switch, I want to go to maybe 1.4, because whenever somebody pings you, okay, all computers store their MAC addresses. Okay, so you can see I have stored the MAC addresses. Physical address is called MAC address basically. So now if I want to go to 1.4, okay, so when I say I want to go to 192.168.1.4, okay, so when I ping here, I already know that I give this MAC address. I put this MAC address in my packet. Because if I don't have MAC address, I will put FFF, which is called broadcast. Okay. So right now, is this good for you? Yeah, I think. That's becomes a different. Okay, but still I give you basic idea. Okay, so you can see 1.4, it has a MAC address. Okay, so whenever I ping now 1.4, whenever I ping 1.4, so this is a switch here. I told you this is a Cisco switch. Also, it also has a CLI. Cisco switch also has a CLI. So right now, you do not have to configure anything. Just say enable and type here show MAC address table. This is the only command right now I want you to learn in switches. Show MAC address table. Why this command is also important? Because when you are going from 1.1, so I say I want to go to 1.1 to 1.4, okay? So how you will go? Because my computer has the MAC address. So computer say, okay, 1.4, I want to go to this MAC address. Okay, so let me copy somewhere here. Let me copy here, okay? So remember this password, मुझे यहाँ जाना है, okay? Remember this password, I want to go here. Okay, so if I show you, so my computer will ask a switch that I want to go to this 00D0BA47, and switch will tell you, okay, if you want to go to this MAC address, because switch work only on MAC address, not on IP address, because this is a layer 2 device. Yes or no? So switches work on MAC address. So when your computer gives this MAC address to switch, I want to go to 00D0BA47, the switch will tell you, okay, if you want to go to this machine, that is available on the port number FA04. So can you see this cable is on 1.4 is on FA04? Yes or no? ये देखो. If you move the cursor, you see the port number, right? FA04. So this computer is attached to FA04 port number. So packet will automatically, whatever packet you send to switch will forward the packet to this device. Because we have the MAC address table. So what is happening if you have the MAC address, the LAN network will do unicast. Okay. So if switch has MAC address and computer also has MAC address in ARP table, what will happen in that case? So if switch has MAC address in MAC address table and computer has MAC address in the ARP table, then bandwidth will be mostly unicast. Okay, if switch has MAC address and computer also has a MAC address in the ARP table, in this case, your company will not have too much broadcast. Okay, so this will be the best idea that you should not have too much broadcast. Broadcast means you sending packet to one device, but packet is going to every device in your network. Okay, that will waste my bandwidth, right? So it's better to always send the packet to the right destination. And these MAC address table and the ARP table is helping me a lot. Okay, so right now I'm considering, I'm not going in much detail. What is ARP? What is happening? Okay, what is ARP? So definitely we will cover. But right now, just what I'm trying to explain you, try to understand at least 90% of that, because I'm covering very, very basic and very easy language. Okay. So I do not want any single student to miss those things. That's why. Yes, bandwidth will save. Subnetting will be covered, Manish. Don't worry, yaar. So in my classes, you do not have to ask about the topics. Just focus on what I'm delivering. It will come because if I teach you subnetting right now, then what will happen? You will not be able to understand practically subnetting. So before I do subnetting, I teach some practicals so that you will understand subnetting with practicals. So how to stop broadcast on router port? Gaurav, by default, router stop broadcast. Router do not forward broadcast. Okay, so router do not forward broadcast, but there are a lot of things. Okay, like you can do some broadcast filtering and all, strong control and all. That is in the switching topics we'll cover. Yeah, router break the broadcast. So as of now, this is the only practical I expect from all of you. And there is no please try to do this lab as your what we call homework type of. I do not want to say homework, looks like you guys are school kids. Okay, so it's what we call the assignment, lab assignment. So I'm just sharing the screenshot in your notes because in notes already there is a lab with this similar kind of lab. But still, if you want to do this lab, you can do that also. Okay, so let's now check what is router power on self test. Router जब on होता है, so this concept is called router boot up process. Just 10 minutes more and we are ready to close the class also because we have done the topic. And I'll take your few questions also. Okay, so now you can see whenever you start the router, so router first thing is to check my hardware. Okay, so what is called post? सबसे पहले post होता है. What is post? Post is power on self test and router check the hardware that all my components are okay or not. Okay. Then after that, the ROM, there is a memory in the router which is called ROM, which okay, let me tell you the memories first. Okay, like in router also we have RAM, ROM. Okay, so RAM is like random access memory, ROM is read-only memory. Okay, so in these, so basically the ROM has a very small software, like in computers you have na BIOS, है ना? So the router has a bootstrap program, bootstrap, which search for operating system, which is called iOS. Okay, so my Cisco software is called, if you go to router and type a command here, enable show version. Show version means tell me the router model and version. So you can see here in the show version, it is saying Cisco iOS software. iOS means inter-network operating system. Like in Microsoft Windows, Linux, the same way Cisco devices as Cisco iOS. Cisco iOS stand for Cisco Inter-Networking Operating System. Inter-Networking Operating System. So this is the model, I think, if you scroll a little bit. So you can see from how long the router is up. It's been like 1 hour, 41 minutes. The router is on. And so these are the licenses and all. So you can see we have 3 gigabit ports. This is the board ID, which we call what we call serial number, kind of. So this is your NVRAM. Whenever you save any configuration, that goes in this memory, non-volatile memory. Okay, so this is your physical memory, which is your RAM. This is where you store all your current configuration, whatever you are typing on the router, that is called RAM. Okay, so suppose when you say config t host name ABC, so this change is happening in the RAM. Okay, so let me give an idea more. So tell me if I go to and write any notepad file. Okay, or maybe if I'm not, if I'm typing a notepad file, if I do not save, okay, still you can type notepad if you do not turn off your notepad, laptop, है ना, so the application will still run, but that is running in your RAM, है ना. So right now I'm teaching you on packet tracer. I have not saved this file, but still whatever window you see, whatever lab is going on, that is taking my RAM, right? So we need RAM for my current applications, है ना. So the same way, my router need RAM also for current means what we call for the things like where current configurations. So let's check again. So we check router, check the hardware first, and then router check the router load the bootstrap program. Bootstrap in small software. Search for iOS. Now search for operating system. Because even if you understand your computer, if you are from already IT background, so your computer also do some power on self test. Computer also check hardware, and after that computer searches for Windows in the C drive, right? And that C drive is available in the hard drive, right? Then it will check any previous configuration and all, or you have saved it, hibernate your laptop or something like that, and then it will load your computer the same way. So router check hardware, then router load the bootstrap. Bootstrap will the ROM load the bootstrap and search for iOS. So then bootstrap will search for the iOS. Where is my operating system? Then operating system is available in the flash memory. Okay, then power on self test, hardware check. ROM will load the bootstrap program and search for iOS. iOS is available in the flash memory. So flash is like your memory card something or hard drive of router where you store your software. Okay, because if you go to a router and type show flash, so you can see this is the software, your router software, which is under which memory? Show flash. Because this is where we store our operating system. Like in Windows, you store your Windows in C drive, right? So the same way router store its information in the flash memory. Okay. एकदम से नहीं आएगा गाइस, थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा. ओके, और नींद वाली शक्लें मत बनाओ, नींद तो मुझे भी आ रही है. अभी सोने में लगे हुए हैं. मेरा कैमरा क्यों रुका हुआ है यार? ओके रुको, चेंज करता हूँ.
Sorry, I don't understand.
That's okay. Yeah, my phone camera is gone. Now I'm using my camera. Okay. देखो. Okay, so let's repeat again. So we will check the hardware first. Okay. We will check the type in the chat. Stay active little bit. लिखो. So router will check the hardware with the post. Okay. Abhi tumhe let me give you some energy. So whenever you give CSN exam, if this question will come, then what you will do? Tell me. So in which stage does the router load the Cisco iOS software image? Now you got the point why it is important. हेमंत की चारों आंखें खुल गई. दो थी ना पहले इसके पास. Okay, so this is why it is important. Okay, so some topics looks like you feel like it is not important. Why? What to do with RAM, ROM, and so it is to do with your exam. If you want to give exam. Okay. So now coming back to the topic. So power on self test, check the hardware. Then ROM load the bootstrap. ROM के अंदर एक छोटा program है. ROM has a very small software which will search for the iOS, which is my main operating system, my Cisco router and switches operating system. and then iOS will be loaded. iOS from flash is loaded. We will load the operating system in the RAM. Because when your Windows, okay, tell me, can you turn on your laptop without RAM? Only the power switch on you can do, but you can't use Windows without RAM. Why? Tell me what is the logic why RAM is required. Because your Windows files copied in RAM, because RAM runs the all your current services. So when you see the clock, when you see the time, when you see all the folders, icons, everything is in the RAM. Then what is in the hard drive? Hard drive is permanent storage. We copy the file from hard drive to RAM to run. RAM. RAM means run. Run the current things. Okay. So hardware check, then we load the operating system. We copy the iOS in the RAM. From where? Flash. Because iOS is in flash memory. iOS हमारा flash में, उसको copy करेंगे RAM में. Okay. We will copy in the RAM. Okay, let me show you. So when you click on the router and when you go to, there is a physical, you zoom in, there is a on off switch here. You can see here, on off. So when I on off, just click off, on, and click on the CLI. So what do you see here? What is happening here? Loading. So basically we are copying the files from flash memory to RAM. ये क्या हो रहा है? Router boot up. This boot up is going on. We are copying these files. My software is loading from flash to RAM, and now it is loaded. I'm asking people what is happening. Like some students are, it is rebooting. अरे वो तो मुझे भी पता है, रीस्टार्ट किया है. Restart, reboot. When you switch on, switch off, it is reboot. Right? So I'm asking these. So when you see these hash, it means your files is going from flash to RAM. Okay. So router is off now. And can you see that, guys? I have lost my all configuration. I have to set up the router again. Whatever I have done, whatever I have taught you in the last 2 hours, 1 hour, that is all gone. Because I have not saved the configuration. That configuration is in which memory? That is in the NVRAM, non-volatile RAM. So let's go and quickly save. Okay, so what was the router name? Enable, let's say a host name ABC. Let's go to the interface again. Let's configure interface GI000. IP address 192.168.1.100. No shutdown. Okay, we go to another interface GIG001. IP address 192.168.2.100. So this is what we already done. That's why I'm little fast now. Okay, and once you done everything now, then you have to just say here, write. That's it. Write means copy my running configuration, which is called running is my RAM. Running is my RAM. I want to copy my running configuration into startup configuration. So remember, running is your RAM, startup is your NVRAM. So whenever router reloads or any power fluctuation in your office, so then which configuration will be loaded? Startup. So whenever you do any changes, but if you do not type write or this command, both has same meaning. Okay. So either short form is write, but the actual meaning of this command is copy my running current configuration into startup. Okay. So suppose if you change the router name, host name XYZ. Okay. And you reload the router. So what will happen? The ABC will come, not XYZ. Because whenever you do any changes, after every change, you have to do write. Because write command will save your configuration. And even if you router reload or something, power fluctuation, anything happens with the router with the load with all IP address, name, everything. Because we saved the configuration with the write command or write memory. Yes, I'm good, Ahmed. Okay, so you can see XYZ is there. Enable. How to check IP address? Show IP route. Show IP interface brief. Can you see everything is there in my device? We have not lost anything. Yes, because all that configuration in my इधर वो show नहीं चल रहा show version. Okay, so you can see in the version we have this NVRAM. This is actually my memory where I save my configuration. This is your RAM and this is your flash memory. Okay, so all these memories, and this is the processor, whatever processor ISR 4331, this is the model. Okay, so remember in the post we check the hardware. In the ROM we load the bootstrap and search for iOS. Then iOS is copied from flash to RAM. Then we check my previous configuration, because your previous configuration is called startup configuration. So whenever router load, it will check your previous configuration saved or not. So if it is saved, it is going to load, and if it is not saved, then it will just load with the as a fresh router, okay, or what we call the blank with no configuration router. So boot process is completed as everything is loaded into NVRAM. If you have the configuration, router will load with the previous configuration. Okay. So now please see this chart. Why these 4 memories are important? Okay, so it is a little blur image hai thoda. Okay, so RAM is volatile. Volatile means whenever you restart anything, the data will go. Volatile means like it will be gone, removed. So why this RAM is important in the router? Running my software, running my configuration, current configuration, my routing table, ARP table, packet buffer. When the lot of packets will come, I will store and hold. That is called packet buffer. All these things are in the RAM. If you do not have RAM, you cannot run the router. Then we have ROM, read-only memory. So boot up instruction. Okay, processor will give the instruction to read-only memory kind of. Okay, so basic diagnostic software. If you corrupt your main software, if you corrupt your main router or switch software, then who is going to load that? No, you cannot assign the broadcast IP to the computer or router with by default subnet mask. Okay, so now you can see NVRAM. NVRAM is your startup configuration. When you save, that is called startup configuration, and it is saved in the NVRAM. And flash memory, where you store all your operating system and other files if you have. So once power lost or disconnected, volatile memory lost the data. Yes, volatile memory will delete the data, but non-volatile will save the data. But ROM, the main is NVRAM, because all your configuration is in NVRAM. Okay. So RAM is like when your router is off now, and this is just a screenshot of very old router. So like the flash is like a memory card or chip something. NVRAM. Okay, this is the ROM. Okay, so it is the internal hardware of Cisco. So let's check the questions. In which stage does the router load the software image? So the answer is during the software initialization stage, when we initialize the software. Okay, so post, because it is to check the hardware, right? This is wrong answer. Post क्या करता है? Post hardware check करता है. Post check the hardware. That's why this is wrong. While loading the configuration file, no, because we load the configuration file after loading the software. So this is also incorrect. Immediately after switching on the router, no, because when we turn on the router, we check the post hardware, then it check the bootstrap, then we find the iOS, then we copy the flash to RAM. I hope you remember all the points. Okay, so how you are going to remember this? The question is that. If you feel like it is little difficult and all, So it's simple. Just check 1 or 2 times. That's it. Because anyhow, if you learn 20 times, still you are going to forget this. So the better way is to just make good notes. So whenever you get time, just keep revising the notes again and again. Okay, so there is like our brain is also like RAM here. We do actually we humans we do not have NVRAM. We have NVRAM only for good and bad memories, not for the study. Then how where we save all the study what we do? So we save in the notes, right? Because our brain is like RAM and we are going to forget things very easily. Okay. And NVRAM we have very small. That is all for our friends, family, good memories, bad memories, right? So then where we are going to store everything? So it's better to keep notes. That's what we call second brain. है ना? Because इतना डेटा इतनी दुनिया जहान का कुछ इतना कैसे पढ़ेंगे यार? Just make your good notes. Remember, consider your notes as your brain. That how you are going to make your notes properly, how it is going to be. So I'm just showing you. Lot of apps are there. Okay, so this is my Apple Notes, and you can see almost 1000 notes, and I have built like this. Can you see areas, personal, culture, spiritual, strategy, YouTube, health, whatever content I get, I just add in that thing. Okay, so some if I don't like after like 3-4 months, I just click here and archive. Okay, so make good notes. So this is not for study. This is for the things what you actually learn little bit. Okay, like I want to learn about like labs. I want to learn about strategies. Just keep those things in that folder. Okay, so I don't know. So I think there is an app called UpNote. So this is for Windows user. You guys can use this UpNote. Similar kind of stuff. You can see you can make folders and whenever you can install your mobile. So just I'm not if you want to save your study notes, na, for study notes, the best app is Notion. Okay, Craft is also good, but Craft is paid app. After some time, they will ask you to pay the amount. So I'm teaching, so that's why I'm okay to pay. I'm okay to pay for this app because I'm training a lot of students. But as a personal, I would recommend you to use Notion. Okay. So make your digital notes very clear and crisp. Okay. Handwritten notes are also good, but then you have to take the screenshot and make PDFs. That is also good. Okay. So that's your choice that you want to read the handwritten notes like this. Obviously, we love handwritten. So you can just make your notebook, but these pictures you will not be able to add in your handwritten notes. है ना? ये जैसे हम यहाँ पे कोई फोटो डाल दी. Okay, so we add a picture and all. It will take a lot of time to make all these things properly handwritten. Or you can invest this Diwali in normal, what we call, tablet. मैं खर्चा बढ़ा रहा हूँ तुम्हारा, पर क्या करें, इन्वेस्टमेंट जरूरी है वो वाली चीजों की. Start with Notion, and if you feel like you love more handwritten notes, then somehow like go for any 10-15,000 में तो कोई अच्छी टैबलेट आती है, तो वैसे आती नहीं वैसे सच बताऊं तो. ठीक है. So it start with Samsung, I think S6 Lite, I think 25,000. So wait for this year. Next year invest in iPad. Once you get 30-40% hike. Okay, so invest on yourself always. Okay, so don't because this is the same. I was also like the same guy. I was always trying to download the things from torrent, watching a lot of content from here and there, then I actually come to know that I'm wasting a lot of time consuming content from anywhere. Because that time, like I was like watching CCNP from multiple videos, a lot of things and all. Okay, so it is like you're consuming lot of content, but at the end of the day, your brain is not able to remember everything. Yes. तुम कितना ही पढ़ लो, after right, if you consider today's fourth class, even after the batch completion, after 6 months, if I ask you what do you remember, so most of you will not remember the whole batch. So the best way, whenever you learn, try to make good notes, try to write handwritten notes, whatever. Okay, तो कुछ कुछ बनाओ, because वो चीजें नहीं याद रहेंगी फिर तो. ठीक है. So I'm making your notes. So still these notes are one of the best notes in the market right now. Okay, so I'm creating notes for you. So whenever you guys want, you guys come back and read these notes, check the labs. So I'm doing my best from my side, but I would suggest you do not try to copy paste all these notes in your handwritten. At least try to write very, very important things, like try to check, okay, what is post or something. Okay, so whenever I talk about any important thing, try to note it down. Like today I told you, design the topology, assign IP address, verify connectivity. So these things are a little bit important, and rest I don't feel like you have to prepare your own notes. But when you learn from my notes, okay, when you learn from my videos, my live classes, then combinedly make some good notes also. Okay, because in my notes I'm covering everything in detail. तो आपको इतना डिटेल शायद नहीं चाहिए, because when you go for interviews you cannot read each line by line, right? So you need some shortcuts, that okay, if I want to remember OSPF, I want to remember this basic configuration, that you have to work on it. Okay, so in my last batches I've shown people that I made lot of handwritten notes. ये देखो, ये देख, बहुत मिट्टी लगी है इसको. मिट्टी थोड़ी लगी है वो क्योंकि टेबल के नीचे थी. ओके, ऐसी यार, ये ना 2 मिनट. So I can show you now like this. I have to zoom. अबे कैमरे, घटिया कैमरे. Okay, sorry. So I have to ये कैमरे की गलती नहीं थी. So it's like I have enabled my blur background so you can see. Okay, so you can use white pages and all. You can just okay, so use some markers and all. So whatever, ऐसे करके notes बनाओ भाई. So this is the best way. Okay. So any questions, guys, today? मैं गौरव कह रहा मैं अंधा हूं, अब दिखा.
सर ये नोट्स एक्सेस कहाँ करें सर, मेरे को अभी तक समझ नहीं आ रहा.
ये नोट्स का एक लिंक दे रहा हूं, अभी देखो चैट में आएगा.
ओके सर.
और जब आएगा तो आप बोलोगे हाँ जी. क्या बोलोगे?
हाँ जी, अभी आया नहीं लेकिन.
आया नहीं ना, तभी तो बोलना नहीं अभी. देखो
तो
अब
सर
आएगा.
अभी तक
हाँ
मैंने
जी, हाँ.
मेरा एक्सेस नहीं हो पा रहा है लैब.
विच लैब? पैकेट रेसर लैब?
जी हाँ, CCNA.
अच्छा, नहीं, लाइक यू हैव इंस्टॉल्ड पैकेट रेसर और नॉट?
नहीं, अभी तक मैंने इंस्टॉल भी नहीं किया है. मेरे सिस्टम में मैंने वो लॉगिन आईडी जो पासवर्ड दिया है ना, वो लॉगिन नहीं कर नहीं पा रहा हूँ मैं.
ओके, स्किल्स फॉर ऑल पर you have login. No, the lab access you got from networkings, that we will use later on, है ना? तो आपको पहले आज की क्लास शुरू से लगाई है आपने, बीच में आए हो?
नहीं, पहले से मैं लगाया हूँ.
तो
पहले से चल रहा है मेरा.
तो मैंने बताया ना, स्किल्स फॉर ऑल पर जाके अकाउंट बनाओ, वहां से पैकेट रेसर डाउनलोड करो ना अपने कंप्यूटर में.
नहीं नहीं, वो तो बात की बात है. पहले लॉगिन ही नहीं हो रहा है मेरा आईडी.
अच्छा,
मेरा
जीमेल
जो
नहीं है
यूजर
आपका?
आईडी पासवर्ड, हाँ जीमेल आईडी है. मेरा लॉगिन आईडी पासवर्ड मुझे दिया हुआ है मेल में. वो मैं
वो नहीं,
डाल
वो
के.
वो वो यूजर नेम पासवर्ड हमारे लैब्स का है, वो बाद में यूज होगा, वही मैं कह रहा हूँ.
अच्छा ठीक है.
हाँ, वहां पर आप अपना अलग से अकाउंट बनाओ.
अच्छा, वो मैं बना के मैं करूंगा, ठीक है,
हाँ
उसी
हाँ
सिस्को में जाके वो
यस
कर
यस
लूंगा मैं।
हाँ हाँ वो कर लो।
ठीक है।
हाँ सर, मेरे पास नेटवर्क एकेडमी करके है ना, उसमें बनाया था मैंने पहले। तो
अच्छा अच्छा।
वही वो चलेगा कि स्किल्स फॉर ऑल में बनाना पड़ेगा?
अरे यार इतने आलसी हो, करके देख लो लॉगिन, अब मैं क्या बताऊं इसमें। चल जाएगा वैसे, ट्राई टू डू दैट। आई थिंक द सिस्को क्रेडेंशियल इट विल वर्क, बट इफ यू डू नॉट हैव सिस्को क्रेडेंशियल्स जस्ट यूज विद जीमेल आईडी। ओके
चल
सर
जाएगा,
ये
मेरा भी सेम था।
ओके।
सर ये नोट्स डाउनलोड नहीं होंगे?
नहीं हो जाते हैं। मुझे लास्ट में क्या करना होगा, वंस वी कंप्लीट द बैच और इन द मिड ऑफ द बैच आई हैव टू कन्वर्ट ऑल ऑफ देम इन पीडीएफ, देन आई विल शेयर विद यू।
ओके, तो हमें अभी रीड करना है, पढ़ना है, तो हमें ऐसे ही पढ़ना
हाँ हाँ,
पड़ेगा।
ये जस्ट सेव इन योर मोबाइल और समवेयर, जस्ट ओपन एनी टाइम एनीवेयर, रीड इट।
हाय
ओके।
सर, दिस इज केदार।
या कैदर?
सर ये ड्रॉपिंग नोड और पोर्ट में क्या फर्क है सर हमारे,
ड्रॉपिंग
क्योंकि मैं
नोड?
काम ड्रॉपिंग नोड आइसोलेटेड वो मक्स का है शायद, मतलब मक्स की
अच्छा।
कनेक्टिविटी जाती है ना कस्टमर तक,
हम्म।
और वो जो ये हो जाता है।
ड्रॉपिंग नोड ये तुम्हारे टेलीकॉम में या कुछ में, उसमें कोई लोकेशन या कुछ चीज को बोल रहे हो?
हाँ वही है
अच्छा।
सर। तो
पॉप को तो नहीं बोल रहे हो, वो जो पॉइंट ऑफ प्रेजेंस होते हैं, पॉप?
हाँ उसका ही है सर।
अच्छा अच्छा, तो क्या क्वेश्चन है उसमें?
अ, उसमें क्या डिफरेंस है, मतलब पोर्ट कोई वो नोड बोल रहे हैं ना, मतलब वो मक्स का जो पोर्ट है उसको ही वो नोड बोल रहे
नहीं
हैं।
नहीं, नोड देखो, पता क्या है नोड, इन टेलीकॉम नोड बी इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग। लाइक समटाइम्स वी कॉल सम डिवाइसेस आल्सो नोड आल्सो,
वो पूरा
राइट?
मक्स को ही नोड बोल रहे हैं क्या वो?
हाँ उसको भी देखो, जैसे हम बोलते थे ना होस्ट पर ही आईपी देना, होस्ट, होस्ट मीन्स एनी डिवाइस वेयर वी असाइन आईपी एड्रेस ना, दैट इज कॉल्ड होस्ट। ऑल्सो वी कैन से दैट नोड ऑल्सो।
ओके सर, ओके।
Okay, so like router, switches, laptops, printers, they all are host. In some ISP like Huawei, if I talk about Huawei or these kind of companies, they call their devices node also sometimes, router. Okay, in telecom devices, we feel like node B, E node B, if you heard about in telecom. So
ओके।
node is like any device where we give IP or related to like mux को भी बोल सकते हैं, mux।
हाँ वो मक्स को ही बोलते हैं।
हाँ मक्स को भी कह सकते
ओके।
हो। ओके।
हेलो सर, प्रभात जी।
या
सर एक्चुअली आप
आई वाज
मॉड्यूल
सॉरी मिस्टर एक्चुअली फॉर अटेंडिंग द क्लास बिकॉज़ आई वाज हैविंग प्रॉब्लम। यस रफी, एनी क्वेश्चन? यू कैन अनम्यूट एंड आस्क। ओके ओके।
Yes, sir. I have one question
या
about.
या
Sir, can we upgrade the router version?
यस।
So, okay.
डोंट आस्क मी हाउ नाउ। Okay, so it's a separate class we'll cover, don't worry, okay?
Yes.
हाय
Sir,
तो
one
सर।
one more thing. Sir, one more thing.
हाँ हाँ।
And the same thing, firmware upgrade also. Can we do?
Software firmware is same thing. What is, okay, tell me what is the difference between software and firmware?
Firmware like the I mean the hardware we, at the time of manufacturing has been assigned this version like firmware version like
So
any
basically the software which is embedded on the hardware, na?
correct. Yeah.
There is like some hard drive. When we install in the hard drive, those are called softwares. But when the software embedded on side the chip, like ROM is always called firmware, है ना? Because it is embedded on the hardware. If you want, you cannot. So firmware is on the chipset, and software where we place or install in the on top of it, है ना? So that is the difference. So now what's your question?
Can we upgrade the firmware as well as the software? So you
Yes,
had
we
the
can upgrade the firmware as well. Like in our laptops also, we can upgrade our boot, what we call, what we call
BIOS.
BIOS.
BIOS. BIOS.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
upgrade those things also.
Mhm.
But normally, it's little hard in Cisco devices. I think for that we have to raise a ticket and all with Cisco and all. But normally, I think it is not required because there is no problem with the BIOS of Cisco devices because it's very plain and simple.
So, sir, sometimes any error message like coming like this, your router should be upgrade or your router should firmware should be upgrade. So this
No,
is
no, auto messages will not come in Cisco devices. Cisco will not recommend you to upgrade.
like the Windows,
No, no,
Windows
no.
upgrade. Yes, okay.
Okay, it will not give you any updates. Okay, but yes, what will happen if you use some Cisco GUI software like Cisco DNA or something like that? It will show you, okay, this version is there, and maybe it will show you, okay, this new version is available, kind of.
Okay.
But router itself will not tell you. Maybe Cisco software will tell you the version. Even the latest Cisco software will also not tell you to upgrade. But it will only display which version you are into right now. Okay. Yes,
Okay, sir.
Naveen, you had a question.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
I
Naveen.
was wondering, like, you have asked us to give the default gateway. Default gateway, so is it a next hop?
Default gateway is yes, for computer, it is the next hop.
So, sir, in between computer and router, there was a switch also. So, why we haven't mentioned in the switch?
Because when we talk about hops, we always talk about IPs, not MAC addresses. So on that switch, we have not given any IP, na?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
In that way, and sir, we haven't configured switches also. So
yes, we have not configured yet, but yes, in further classes, we are going to configure them according to the requirement. Like if I want to configure VLANs, or if I want to configure some port security, if I want to lot of things we will configure in the switches, but right now it is not required. Once we learn how to set a basic router, then we will configure 2 routers, 3 routers, 4 routers. So
Yes,
when you will get good understanding about little bit how WAN networks work, like how router works, then we will come back to the switching part. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much for answering.
Okay. Yes, Gaurav, any question?
So one question, sir, Shabazz this side.
Yeah, Shabazz.
Sir, let's suppose if we are configuring the Cisco router, so like the other brands like MicroTik, so the configuration are same or it will be different because the Cisco configurations, all those commands.
Okay, so tell me, if you buy Samsung TV and if you have LG TV, the remote will work?
Absolutely
This
no.
is the only difference. But as now you tell me, but as a normal guy, you will understand, okay, this is power off button. This is for channel change. So definitely, if you know Cisco very well, you will be able to configure MikroTik or some other routers, but by reading some documents.
Correct. Okay.
Okay. So what I suggest, if you guys have more than 4 years, 5 years experience, I would recommend you with my CCNA, start learning some other like MikroTik or Juniper or something. Just read the book. There no need to take any live courses or because it's not available in the market easily. And so it's better you just download the MikroTik book, Juniper book or Huawei and read side by side. Okay. Because when I'm teaching you routing, so maybe in Juniper or maybe any other vendor, the concept are same, just the commands are little different. Okay, so if you have good number, like if you have what we call little amount of time, extra time in learning, then start learning Juniper, start learning Huawei. Just search on Google JNCIA book download, you will get the book. Okay, just check the Huawei. So if you guys have time, just like CCNAs from Cisco and other companies have also CCNA type of certification. Like Juniper has JNCIA. Okay, let me show you in my screen. Okay, so just go and say JNCIA book. Okay, so you will get somewhere just say JNCIA book download. Okay, so this is the Juniper book. Directly you click here and you will get the link. Okay, let me give the link here. तुम पढ़ोगे तो वैसे वो नहीं अभी, but still. Okay, so what exactly why this book is good? Not for freshers right now, but yes, if you are like able to understand. So the topics, like you see contents, so you can see here, some topics are related to us. Like if you start reading this, okay, suppose if I show you, um, yeah, you can see here in Cisco devices, like in Juniper, we have routing engine and packet forwarding engine. In router, we have two concepts. In Cisco router also, we have two things. What we call data plane, control plane. So routing engine will do the routing, packet forwarding engine will forward the packet. Very simple. If you go and further check, you can see in the routers, Juniper routers, we have Junos software. But in Cisco, we have which software?
iOS.
iOS
iOS.
software. Okay.
Mm.
Now, if you check the routing engine, so you can see Juniper has some series which is called M series router, M5, M10, M20, M40. बहुत ज्यादा यूज होते हैं router, M160, and it contains 333 megahertz processor, 768 MB RAM, and also 768 MB of RAM. ये लिखा ही था वैसे. And flash drive of around 6.4 GB. So this is just about their routing engine 2, routing engine 3. Okay, physical comparison. And again, this book is very not very updated, I think, but still it is giving you all. So in Juniper book, whenever they talk about FEB, so that is forwarding engine board. When they talk about SSB, this is system switching board. So as a fresher, it is very difficult to understand this type of language. So what we suggest people, if you really want to learn Juniper, so learn CCNA, CCNP, because it's CCNA is very easy to learn. CCNP is obviously when you are good at CCNA, CCNP is also easy. Then after that, you will be able to understand this type of language, even so I think once you complete the batch, sometimes we will also give you the chance to learn about Juniper and all also. Okay, so totally depends on the batch. So now you can see in Juniper, you can take the references also. Like in Cisco routers, it is not possible. But in Juniper, you can say help. So जिसको Juniper आ गया ना चलाना, वो Cisco भूल जाएगा. Juniper is like, यार awesome, means best operating system of any network device in the market. But yes, Cisco latest big series, what is ASR or iOS XR, which is like Papa of Cisco. So the Cisco, what we are learning, that's iOS, which is for beginner level, because obviously CCNA, CCNP is a beginner level. But once you complete beginner level, then this is iOS XR. Which router? They are very powerful router. These are the routers, XR7 routers used by service providers. Okay, so basically Cisco has 3 operating system. We are learning Cisco iOS. Then maybe if you go to the data center, you learn about Nexus. When you learn about service provider, then iOS XR. But if you learn iOS, again, I give example. If you learn how to drive a simple car, then it would be easy to drive the Audi and BMWs also, right? So that's the whole logic. Got the point? So this is the JNCIE guide. Now, suppose you want to learn about micro tick, micro tick, right?
Yes, yes.
So just check their book, PDF and all. I think these companies have open documents because these companies are like just they are making guides for their for their clients, not for the students, because Juniper, Microtik, they do not have too much student certification or database. समझ रहे हो मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ? तो ये जो बुक्स इन्होंने बनाई हैं, these books are not for students. These books are for the experts. These books are for the people who understand technical language very well, right? So now you can see router OS, MUM, Academy, all these things, their model numbers and all. So once you understand their models and all, then you can talk about kuch microtik ka MTCNA. Their book is called MTCNA. So MTCNA download, right? So कहीं ना कहीं मिल ही जाएगा. इनका बुक easily मिल जाता है वैसे सबका ना इन लोगों का. ये रहा 320 pages. Okay. So when you learn about Juniper, when you learn about so now today I told you show version command. Right now in Juniper, what command you have to enter?
Juniper.
Show version brief, right?
Okay.
So some commands are different. Again, you can see boot sequence. Whatever boot sequence we have done, that is in the Cisco, right? But if you try to understand Juniper, so you can see this is the Juno software boot sequence. Their removable media, solid SSD drive. So their SSD flash drive is the primary boot media. In case if the hard drive do not have the iOS, then it will load from the hard drive. Okay, so this is their first mode. So today what we learn in Cisco router, this mode is called what?
User mode.
So in Juniper, this is called operational mode.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so like we put a question mark, we see how many commands we can run. Again, if you go to the Cisco router, right? So question mark, you can see all those things because both are on Linux. Both softwares are built on Linux.
Linux OS. Okay.
Yes. Okay. You can see show command. These are the show commands. You can see question mark के बाद आपको बताएगा I से कितना command है, right? If you put a question mark, even in the Cisco, if you say show question mark, it will show all the show commands. That what commands are available, like show, IP, R, question mark. It will show you from R. I have two words. What you are searching, route. Okay, so sometimes we forget the command. Suppose show IP, you remember interface, but it is not showing you that. But after you put question mark, you can see, okay, there is a command brief. Okay. So this question mark and all these will help you. Okay. So now it is understandable, right? For the people, right? It's easy. If you, so I hope you understand. So when you learn CCNA and side by side, if you try to learn these JNCIA, MTCNA, okay, तो ये लिंक भेज रहा हूँ मैं तुम्हें पढ़ लेना फालतू टाइम है तुम्हारे पास तो see, I'm here to explain you the technology, right? So devices are too many in the market. I cannot cover all devices, right? So for me, 5-6 months covering Cisco also is a big challenge, right? Because I'm covering in detail everything, right?
जब Cisco मेरा cover हो जाएगा तो definitely it will work the मैंने other vendors ना like JNC
yeah.
definitely ठीक है ठीक है.
So if you learn Cisco very well, you will be able to understand others very well also. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying automatically you will understand. Obviously, you have to put little more time in Juniper also, in more time in MTCNA also. तो ये चीजें आपको देखनी पड़ेंगी because in MicroTech it is purely a GUI box, not properly GUI, but you have to download this Winbox and you connect a cable. Okay, then this is the diagram and all. इनका पूरा GUI type चलता है. ये दिख रहा है? So you have to click on the DNS, set the DNS. ये वाले router को था ना मैं बताऊं क्या कर रहे हैं. So if you really want to practice, I think in MicroTech router ना, you guys can try to check if it is available at 4-5 thousand. Try to buy out और बेच दो बाद में 6 महीने चला के इसको. हाँ मैं तो ऐसे ही करता था. छोटे छोटे नेटवर्क डिवाइस if you can afford like up to 4-5 thousand, just try to buy and just sell it later on. Okay, like I have a lot of small devices also like TP-Link, this TP-Link VPN router, because when you start actually love the technology now, automatically you will buy these things.
Correct.
Okay, 5-6 हजार तो वैसे भी तुम उड़ा ही दोगे किसी ना किसी चीज में, राइट? मैं इतना ब्लर क्यों हो रखा हूँ यार? कैमरा मुझे जूम करो. Yeah. Okay, so this device I have like 2 boxes of this. एक one via एक चल रहा है और एक ऐसी कभी कभी कुछ कुछ देख लिया. Okay, so these devices, why these are useful? Because if you really want to become an entrepreneur someday, suppose, okay, so I'm not saying you really want to, but suppose sometimes you feel like you want to open your own IT company, you want to take projects in the real world, then nobody will tell you, okay, TP-Link is teaching you TP-CNA. You will not go and learn TP-Link CCNA, right? So sometimes small devices are very important because the day you start your own company, like we are planning to start our own company, NK Tac. Okay, so that's networking stack. So
तो
So
ये पूरे GUI बेस्ड है या फिर TP लिंक का जो आप बता रहे हो या फिर
TP-Link is this is GUI based, very affordable router, very good router. If I want to give any client of mine a very good router at this price, this is the best router. If you have 2 or 3 internet links, na, so it will load balance the traffic also. It has a firewall module also, load balance traffic. बहुत कुछ है
रिपीटर
इसके अंदर.
एज ए रिपीटर भी काम कर सकते हैं?
Repeater अलग. What is repeater? Tell me.
रिपीटर अब जैसे कि मतलब मेरा नेटवर्क कहीं पे डाउन हो रहा है, सो वी कैन
And then
यूज
why
एट।
you want to buy 7,000 rupees for repeater?
A repeater, I think, for wireless, right? Normally
No,
used
no,
for.
repeater actually is to regenerate the signal. Suppose one,
करेक्ट।
like there is a building, from one building to
If
another
they
building.
can go for AP.
Yeah. So basically, what is repeater? Like after 100 meter, remember the first class. So
Yes,
after
yes.
100 meter, the device will send weak signals. Then repeater will amplify the signal.
Can
Okay.
receive.
So basically,
Yes.
what he's asking, sometimes my LAN cable is getting lengthy. Then if I put a device in between, would it work like a repeater? I think you should not buy this device as a repeater. It's better you buy some switch, right? TP-Link switch. That is more affordable to buy. Okay, these
माइक्रोटिक।
700, 800. So that will work as a repeater for you also.
करेक्ट।
Okay, because these devices, you just want to regenerate the signal. तनुज पांडे को आगी नींद.
सर ये जितने भी रोड्स आप बता रहे हो, जैसे TP लिंक हो गया, माइक्रोटिक हो गया, मतलब किसी के CLI ये है, इंटरफेस है, GUI दोनों भी है, तो मतलब सिस्को के करने के बाद वो सबको इजीली बंदा कर सकता है कॉन्फ़िगर उसके
यार
जितने भी।
देखो, Cisco is not your only thing in the world, right? We are learning CCNA, but that's okay. But what I'm able to teach today, it's not only because I know Cisco only.
करेक्ट।
Okay, I can configure TP-Link in 5 minutes. Tell me how to VPNs, everything I know about TP-Link, D-Link, because we do some experiments. Okay, and that is not because I have a company now, that's why we are doing. Even from the very early stage of my career, I've started doing these things. So when you actually love the technology, you will start looking
ओके।
options how I'm going to learn more and more. Are you getting my
श्योर।
point? So I'm not
करेक्ट।
saying you to follow me on what I'm suggesting. I'm just sharing that when you actually love the technology, you start making connecting dots. Okay, means sometimes you learn JNCI, sometimes MTCNA. Okay, so whatever you learn, all those small things add in your resume, and that makes you very different from the market people. So when you are different from other other guys in the market, then only companies are going to hire you.
अच्छा बट ये जो पूरा मतलब हम CCNA CCNP करेंगे, उसके बाद इनसे जो नॉलेज आएगा, मतलब सारे डिवाइसेस जो कुछ भी है वो TCP/IP और OSM मॉडल ही रेफरेंस में ले लेंगे, और ये जो स्पैनिंग ट्री के लिए .1Q ट्रंकिंग प्रोटोकॉल, OSPF, EGRP, ये सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स तो सेम ही
Yeah,
रहेंगे।
standards are same. Standards
बट
are like USB port is
हाँ,
standard in every laptop, right?
यस सर, मतलब
Yeah.
यही है ना, एक एक ही बात करेंगे बट दूसरी भाषा में, डिफरेंट
Yes,
डिफरेंट
yes. Kind
वेंडर्स
of,
में।
kind of. Yes, yes. एक
हाँ
ही बात
मतलब
करेंगे चाइना में.
हाँ ऐसा नहीं है सर, हिंदी में, तेलुगु
MikroTik is
में,
like
इंग्लिश में।
Chinese for me because I have not configured too much.
बट उसमें भी अगर स्विच लिया तो स्विच में नॉर्मल वही होता है ना, लैग पोर्ट और सब कुछ के लिए वो स्टैंडर्ड तो ऐसे ही रहेगा ना।
Yeah, yeah.
ईथर चैनल बनाना है तो उसमें भी बना सकते हैं,
Yes, Ether
स्पैनिंग
channel.
ट्री वही वही होगा।
या अभी क्या है ना, तुम ऐसी टेक्निकल बातें करो ना, जो बच्चे फ्रेशर है ना वो छोड़ जाएंगे, कहेंगे हमें तो प्रोग्रामिंग ही
नहीं
करनी है.
सॉरी सर,
मैं जा रहा
सॉरी
हूँ.
सॉरी ऐसे नहीं, सॉरी सर, सॉरी सॉरी।
Okay.
मतलब
Okay.
कॉम
So guys, now time is over, 12:30. Okay, so see you tomorrow. And so let me check tomorrow who is the winner for last that game. Okay. Okay, so and also if anybody, so tomorrow I'll cover static routing where we connect 2 routers or 3 routers. And for next week also, let's see who made the best lab, and then we'll make his resume and all. Okay, so bye bye. See you all tomorrow. Good night.